otherwise to have more pressure early and put more threat onto the Yunara.
It's almost like they felt like they had the Yunara on lock. And they're like, okay, let's just not spend a lot of draft bucks in game 1.
Yeah.
Let's pick Smolder so that we can play Sivir in game 2. It's risky because now, obviously, DuckDom can also play that. And, you know, we could see Rel in game 2 for Peter instead, if you're not picking it here. Definitely going to be fighting fire with fire as well with that Smolder to see if he can get online and actually be as impactful as the Yunara is, as we know she can be. So definitely a lot on Ruler's shoulders to try to get fed, and for his team to help him get there. We'll see if it happens as we're ready. Let's hop onto the rim for game number 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Alrighty, game number 1 of the playoff upper round match 1. That's where we're at of the Udi Bank 2025 LCK playoffs. Thank you for joining us, one and all, as we're getting ready to see Gen.G play their first best of 5 in a while.
Yeah. One thing that does feel very Gen.G-esque is the fact that they have this Pantheon, a jungle who's able to make plays early, set things up well, and they have 3 lanes where you're going to have that early prio achieved. So they can just get a lot of early momentum in this game. You know, you think of Smolder as a pick where like, okay, you need to scale up, but this is really going to be a game where KT are on the back foot early. So I think Gen.G are going to be quite comfortable out the gate here. And that's a bit of the concern, is that if DuckDom falls behind early, this comp just might never really get footing. And Peter takes not so hot trade there on the offset.
Yeah. It's doing the Alistair thing where you go headbutt, and that's your way of trading. But when you're into a Bard and a Smolder, you don't get to win trades. So kind of just accepting the beating and not able to do much.
Yep. Hard to play that in this situation. Cuz looks like, yeah, he's dodging away from that ward that was pinged. And he's actually going to steal away some camps on the other side. So very sneaky, finding an angle here. And if he... I mean, we'll see if Canyon is able to read this. Obviously, he doesn't have that information from seeing Cuz, but maybe senses something from the fact that Raptors hasn't been taken. At some point, he'll discover it when he heads up to his top side, though. And if he does beeline straight to Cuz's blue side... Actually, it looks like Cuz is not going to take the Wolves, so... Now Cuz can loop back up, he can go to his Raptors, and then defend his blue side. So this is going to be pretty good for Cuz. There's not really anything Canyon can do in this situation. That being said, he does have Pry on the bot side, so maybe they can look for some pressure there.
Yeah, it'll take him a while to get all the way around, as saw the couple of pings on the ward. Canyon knows his blue's gone, obviously, so he's looking to invade now and see what he can see here on this Jarvan.
Oh, BDD has to watch out.
Uh-oh, BDD, really rough spot for him, as now he's gonna flash. The follow flash comes in, but the stun is there. And now they don't quite have the damage on a BDD. Here's Cuz getting a ton of damage, stun with the Conqueror, and that is just first blood given over to BDD.
It's so big for KT. I feel like Cuz just read Canyon so well, knew exactly the path he was gonna take, avoided the ward, and then when Canyon ends up coming in, BDD, it looked like he was in a bad spot. He flashes away and Cuz is there for the counter, and now Cuz gets so much value from that. This is an early game where Canyon had a
red buff.
Oh man, that's such a good trade. This is an early game where Canyon had everything in his favor with the lane pressure, and now Cuz is in such an advantageous position.
Yeah, it's pretty gigantic. You talked about how Cuz was so impactful in their series against B&K FearX. And it looks like he's back once again, starting off early in game number 1. And Canyon's like, what can I get on this map?
Yeah, now with no flash as well, if you go for a gank, you're underleveled, you have no flash. If a gank goes bad, the game might just be doomed. And it's a sidestep on the Q at the end that saves BDD. You can see how hyped he is the moment he sidesteps it. The minion's doing so much damage as well, the Canyon hitting on him.
He's like, oh, sorry, I didn't see him. because there was a ward, by the way. There was a ward that saw Canyon wrapping around there.
Yeah.
And so BDD was like, oh sorry.
It looked like it could have almost been a bad spot. And you see Canyon, you're now in this position where no camps are up, and you're trying to desperation force a gank to get some value here.
Rolster on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, not the best time.
Yeah. Not sure how that happened. Alistair is a very strong support, picked up here in game 1. Here comes Cuz again, being quite annoying. Is currently the same level as Canyon.
Yeah, up 1 camp at the moment. But I think as well, just if you're in this position as a Jarvan into the Pantheon, you stop him from having that early pressure, you're getting towards your 6, you're feeling pretty good. Top lane, Perfect not feeling so good in this matchup. And I think we've seen consistently, you know, when we've had Aurora into, you know, whatever champion Aurora's played into, Keen has been the most brutal with how he's played out lanes. You know, we've had Aurora into Rumble. I feel like Keen has been the one who has put the hit down the most when he's played this matchup. But one of the first players to bring out the Aurora top lane as well. So, Perfect having a bit of a tough time. Speaking of a tough time.
Yeah, little Tibbers play, just some pressure, but certainly does not feel very good. BD gonna summon Tibbers back. Nicely done.
And now that just means prio achieved for KT in the mid lane. And Cuz looking potentially towards the dragon right now.
He's looking directly at the dragon. In fact, he's even hitting it with his weapon and attempting to take it down.
Yeah, I'm able to step up here. Does get stunned, but not really much Gen.G's bot lane can do. And this is such a good early start for KT. This is kind of I mean, it's not a huge, it's not really an advantage in terms of they're not really ahead in gold, but they have that dragon, you know, they got that early kill. If you look at what the gold is as well, you know, BDD getting a bit of a lead, definitely nice. But it's just a positive start considering where the concerns were with the lane priority, and especially bot lane is doing pretty okay. This is one of the things with having the Smolder is even though they had the priority, you're not really able to punish the lane that heavily. It was just more so what Canyon could potentially do, and then because things kind of backfired for him, it's been a much slower early game.
Okay, gonna deny the magical journey.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's really not, I mean, nobody's here, so it's not really amounting to too much.
I love when you just look and you see those like pointless trades. And I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't go for it, but it's just, you see those trades where it's like nothing's gonna come from this, but it's just why not? You know, click your buttons, do your thing.
I mean, he didn't have magical journey anymore, so.
I mean,
if you interrupt him, maybe scare him off.
That's how you find a window, right? You know, you look for those, maybe a mistake happens and you get something. But we kind of know, we're watching, they know in the moment, they're like, Dura's not going to die, Dura knows it, Peter knows it, but it's just, yeah, you go for the trade. It's like when you see the tanks fighting in the top lane.
Yeah.
And they're just never going to kill each other.
Just kind of staring at each other menacingly.
It's about sending a message.
Yeah.
I will say Perfect went for the Bami Cinderfist and didn't pick up some magic resist.
Seems like a problem.
Yeah, it helps with the wave clear, but I feel like he is just taking every time we look top, he is in the danger zone.
He doesn't even really have that much mana. Like, he's just desperately trying to trade it out. Cuz got one of these grubs and he's backing away. He's going to be happy with that.
Yeah, the top priority problem is not making it easy to play towards this side of the map. And Perfect, we talked about weathering the storm. The storm is hitting hard right now, so currently Keen in a pretty good position, despite the fact it's 0-0-0. He's 24 CS up, about 600 gold. Still, Perfect pretty even in XP though, so that's something at least.
Yeah, I mean, he's catching all the waves, just not maybe CSing all of them perfectly. As both of our top laners are backing here. Neither of them have TP, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any swaps in this game. At least not yet. It's a relatively quiet early game outside of that one play in mid, which theoretically should have gone the way of Gen.G, but did not. So Gen.G are taking a little back seat. They still have that Smolder in their pocket as well.
Yep. Going towards the Essence Reaver. It looks like Will did go press the attack on Smolder. Huh.
He wants to press the attack. He wants to attack pressingly, and you know, if he can get in range and actually land a couple of autos here onto the Yunara after the engage of his team, might not be so bad. I, for one, I'm a very big fan of Bard and Orianna together. I feel like you can set up a lot of plays, even if it's not Yunara, even onto a front line, even if it's like Jarvan, Alistar, you can probably just like chunk them out so badly, even if you don't kill them in the mid to late game, that it is very strong. So got to be looking out for that combo as this game comes along.
Yeah, I guess the theory is probably for the lane. I just feel like fleet footwork, obviously the sustain, and later on you get more value. I feel like later on it's going to be so hard to press the attack. I mean, I guess if you're hitting the Scion, it's not that hard. But so often you're just playing around your Q. Oh, BD's taking, despite the Tibbers usage, getting the worst end off that trade.
Oh, gonna throw down an ult. That's not an easy target to hit.
Yeah, the movement speed, the shield helping, and Cuz is looking.
Yeah, flash comes in, there's the stun. Chovy very low, trying to trade back on a BDD, but there's nowhere for him to go. The heal is there!
Oh, the flash!
The flash on the Cataclysm gets him out just barely. Because meanwhile, we got Duro trying to kill BDD, but TP is coming in. And I think Duro is just dead in this one. Lands the stun, and it just doesn't matter. A second kill here for KT.
Oh man, Chovy played that perfectly. Second perfect to survive. Unfortunately, Duro, not much you can do to be able to clean up the kill. BDD and Chovy both surviving. Minimal HP.
All right, 1 Q. Perhaps.
Fast. Yeah, he gets away. Is Canyon in trouble? No. Peter's going to come over and headbutt him, maybe. It appears not. So, a very hectic passage of play. And I think Chovy literally did everything he had to do to stay alive there with a bit of help from Duro. So, he ends up getting flash stunned here. The flag and drag hits. And then he's just getting hit. Duro comes over. Gives him the heal when he's super low, and then he flashes the Cataclysm damage. Times it so he avoids the damage specifically, and then here Duro, I think he's in the mindset of his portal is down, he used his magical journey before this, and he's like, I'm probably dead.
Uh-oh. Chovy, no flash. He's just isolated. Where is he? In the river. And they give the kill over to Peter, unfortunately. It's still a kill over to KT, but you really would have loved that on your Yunara.
Yeah, I think the trample damage is what took that there.
That's crazy.
So a little bit sad. Yeah, we're just talking about how Chovy did everything he could to escape. He just dies there pretty unceremoniously. Nocturne, unfortunately, not the one to get the kill, but a good play coming out. Good pickup from Peter and Nocturne in the bot lane. And a second dragon picked up for KT is big.
It is Chemtech Soul.
Unfortunately, not the soul you'd ideally be looking for. There are some targets on KT who get a good amount of value from it. Scion, definitely. Jarvan as well will get value for the shielding when they're low. But here, yeah, the Slurkle comes out.
Slurkle.
And then just a flash combo.
Oh, here we go again.
Whoa.
This time it's Ruler, and the magical journey's there, but it's just going to be another one, and make it 2! A double kill for Duckdom already!
That is a problem for Gen.G. You've just given so much gold to this Yunara. That one-item spike comes in, and immediately Duckdom able to get some massive value out of it. 5-0! And all those 3-0 predictions looking pretty silly in this game. This is a pretty massive advantage, and KT feeling great.
Yeah, I mean, KT definitely looking like the stronger team here in this early game. That is easy to see. Here comes Cuz, and Chovy just doesn't have his flash, but Cuz going to abandon the play as BDD not quite in range.
Yeah, Chovy playing the defensive end and having the Rod of Age is a bit bulky. But here, Duro and Roller just playing super far up. Hex Flash play comes out. I think you have to flash the initial combo if you're going to flash. And yeah, Duro was very overextended there, trying to set up vision. Just a good play by KT. Looking for that punish there. And so far, things haven't really come together for Gen.G. I mean, you have this Smolder Insurance, but it's a long way away, and that Yunara is starting to pop off already.
Yeah. I mean, this lead is pretty gigantic for the side of KT. I will say that you have to continue being clean. Gen.G is a team where we know that they can come back if you give them an inch. So got to be careful about that. I'm sure KT do know about that, but it's a really good look for KT. I mean, this is awesome that they can come in here and absolutely smash this early game, even from behind in the lanes and the lane matchups, and just go into the mid game with a 2,000 gold lead and just be essentially enjoying life, especially with 2 kills on Yunara.
Yeah, I mean, you look, 1,500 lead for Doctam for that 80 carry roll. And the thing is, they have a 2,300 gold lead, and that's with Perfect being 700 gold down. And you're not really that upset about your Scion being down in gold, because you went into that matchup with the mindset of he's going to be down in gold into a Aurora, but he's going to be tanky. He's going to scale up. He's going to be okay. So...
Okay. He's able to get into the magical journey.
Didn't turn into a penguin because he was stunned. You notice that?
Yeah, that looks weird. I was like, that looks weird. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah.
It's just normal bard.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Kind of made me feel uncomfortable.
I guess I don't have a stunned penguin animation.
Yeah. Probably should. Maybe they will after this.
They should wait.
Maybe now they realize. They're like, huh.
There's some notes for that skin. It's almost perfect, but that's all they're missing.
Yeah.
Now setting up a Herald here. They're looking to contest this Gen.G.
I mean, you got a ghosted Alistar in your face with ult available. He's just going to go in because he has that ult, and he's taking a lot of damage, though. Got to be careful. Peter definitely getting a bit overexcited. We also have the TP coming in from Perfect, which really doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
but they got the Rift Herald.
I think Peter's play was fine. Him going aggressively there and zoning away, using the Ghost to sort of create space in the ult to get and Ghost to get out again. I think the TP was kind of overforced. Didn't really need to happen because with the towers being there, with the mid-tier 1 being up, there was no really real way you could extend the play. They do just switch up the lane assignments. Oh.
Yeah, Chovy doesn't respect the Scion, and he gets tower aggro as well. Chovy 0 and 2, he's dead again.
And then beautifully, you get the TP from Keen on the back of the play, so the fact you didn't teleport before is answered back. And I think KT, you know, no notes. That worked out pretty fantastically. The wave gets cleared, Chovy gets aggro. He dies so much quicker than they expected. I think maybe if Duro was a little bit closer and could have used the Bard ult, maybe that's a play we could have talked about.
Yeah.
But Chovy was his flash up when that happened?
I believe so. I got fooled by the UI a couple days ago, but...
Pretty uncharacteristic mistakes coming out from Gen.G, but KT doing a fantastic job of punishing. I think it's a takeaway. It does look like the flash is up.
Yeah.
And Bard is pretty close by. Bard is in range.
It's like both of them never expected that to happen.
It's just like neither of them used their buttons.
That did happen as well.
You know, they had the Tempered Fate, they had the flash. Either of them could have used it. And, you know, I assume, just make an assumption, they were both waiting for the other to use one. Right? I think it was probably like one of the, like, Chovy was like, you Tempered Fate,
you just gotta
was like,
send
you Flash. Someone needs to do something. Neither of them did something. He just died very quickly. So, bit of a flub there from Gen.G, and now the lead is expanding, and it's going to be third dragon for KT. I kind of feel a little bit rough because it is that Chemtech Soul. Oh my god.
Okay. Doctam claiming he's the ruler of mid lane, but now he's taking a ton of damage, just dives to the smolder. Ruler gonna pick up that kill for free. Doctam not respecting it. Here's Cuz though. It's Canyon trying to get that life back. Keen just trying to survive himself, but everything comes in as Duro gonna ult the tower to deny. But Ruler still in a lot of trouble, gets flashed on by Peter. Triple kill for Cuz as KT turn it around.
With how that fight started, right? Doctam sliding in, basically getting exploded. They still decimate the rest of the fight. They don't even need the Yunara at this point. Cuz so far ahead gets a triple kill. The tower is protected by the Bard ult from the Herald. Doesn't matter. They'll go for a second charge. I think, yeah, goodbye to the Herald there. But KT just stomping this game 1. They want to go to Worlds.
And, I mean, it's game 1, but they're, as you mentioned, it's very one-sided. So Doctam comes in here, gets very over-aggressive with this play.
A little bit excited. Yeah. Just gets kind of one-shot. The redemption comes in, but it's a little bit after he's already died. But bear in mind, so he's done a lot of damage, but they just clean up the fight so easily. Peter gets this great knock-up after the stun on the Keen. the bottle just to stop the Herald charge, but it kind of also means they can just dive in deeper. And then Cuz just kind of explodes Ruler.
Look for Pantheon. I'm looking. Doesn't have to say anything else. I mean, the play kind of plays itself out with everybody super low.
And I think we've seen a lot of series where if you get demolished early by Gen.G, you can lose a lot of your confidence. If you get ahead early and then it falls apart, you can lose a lot of confidence. But if KT continue in this manner and they get a convincing game one, it could really be such a confidence boost for the series. So they need to close this game out. That is the main takeaway. The lead they have isn't insurmountable. Ruler is approaching those big stacks, but they have been in such good form so far this game. And now they're looking towards the Arakan on the bot side of the map. Gen.G trying to set up vision in the area, but they feel so squishy, right? I mean, look at the items Canyon has compared to Cuz.
Yeah.
Right? He's got the upgraded boots plus 2 full items. Canyon's got Sundered Sky and a Kindle Gem. And I know I complain about Sundered Sky.
It's very good.
It's not that good, right? Because Cuz also has Sundered Sky and then a Black Cleaver.
All right, little angle here for Peter. That is Aurora. Keen showing a lot of respect, but still did a ton of damage on the backside to Peter, and now Peter's down his ult.
Yeah, but I think getting the Aurora ult pretty massive. They do end up just backing away. I think they have Redemption still, so they could have healed up and went for it, but I think they'll just take that advantage. Chovy, what did Perfect do to Chovy to get him that low? Stacked Q from a rush, maybe?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you get to this point in the Scion, and Perfect's just, he's fine in the side lane. Both solo laners are AP. He's got the Hollowed Radiance, he's got those Merc Treads. You can even upgrade the Merc Treads for that Magic Shield, and you're super comfortable. You're getting to the point where you're just too tanky to really be bothered about the side lane matchup. He's actually ahead in levels compared to Keen right now. So he's kind of hit the point where he doesn't really care. Oh, Canyon, you've been spotted. They're looking for BDD.
Yeah, they don't know they're spotted. This collapse is coming in real quick. Here comes BDD. Duro's in a lot of trouble as he is going to flash, but that is Jarvan. You're not getting away from him easily. Down goes the Bard. And here comes Canyon as well. Free food for the Yunara. A third kill for Duckdom. And that should be Otacon on top of it.
Such good vision setup, some great flanks from Cuz and Peter, and it's like they set the bait up of BDD, they saw Gen.G moving in, they flank around perfectly, and I think the main thing we've seen from Cuz, we saw it in the early levels when he dodged that Water Raptors, we saw it here as well, playing around vision so well, knows exactly where the wards are, exactly where the vision is, and able just to skate around them to find these angles. Otacon picked up 4 KT and Souls in 40 seconds. So he should be able to pick up as well.
Went from 15 to 21 petals. Not the biggest deal, but they still get that permanent buff as...
Yep, and the increased value. And then here, I mean, when Peter comes around and headbutts you into his team, there's just nothing you can do. And it just feels like KT, again, the only mistake they have done this game was when Duckdom slid into the entire enemy team and died.
It was a bait. It was a bait.
And they crushed that team fight. They crushed that team fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that was intentional. Ruler has hit the stacks. That is the one thing. He does have the rapid fire for the extended range. Doesn't have the IE for the increased damage. But he's at least gotten to that point where he's a little bit more threatening. I'm not sure it's enough though, right now. Gen.G look like they're not even... Oh no, they're TPing Chovy in.
Yeah. All 5 of them gonna group up for this one. They say, we got the stacks. If we're going to fight, we got to fight here. And they say, we've got an Elder Dragon. We don't want to see another one. Ruler going to get away from that. But what is this split-up fight? We got an Aurora ult just splitting everyone up. Keen kiting everyone down. And Perfect's going to go down here on the top side. And so will Keen. And Zombie Scion as well going to hit the deck. Already 4,000 damage done by Ruler. And KT showing a lot of respect to this.
Yeah, Ruler's starting to shred. Perfect goes down so quickly there. And a lot of resources were used there to take out Keen. Cuz trying to get a look into the Dragon now.
Trying to come back. Yeah, they want Cuz to try to steal, but will they have the vision? Will they have the ability to do so?
Oh, the stun!
The stun hits 2! And the anti-engage does come out from the Bard, but they're so low already. Look at the damage from Ruler, though. BDD getting chunked out as Ruler goes over the wall. Chovy is safe as well, but Duro will go down. 8k damage to the Smolder. But the biggest thing, Gen.G deny the Chemtech Soul.
And I think the magical journey at the end that timed out, I think saved Chovy and Ruler, because I believe Dugdad was going to go through that. You saw the intent, he was looking for the cleanup. So we see Perfect goes in, just gets melted. You see how quickly his health is going down. Keen tries to retreat, but unfortunately, the towers are still there, so he can't even go invisible. Dugdad ends up getting chunked, and so he actually goes back to base to walk back in. So this fight is very scrappy, and Ruler's doing a lot of damage, but he actually can't cut through Cuz that quickly. So he's trying to shred him, but Cuz is kind of just up in his face. Yeah. But then look, Dugdad, he paused for a moment. I thought he was going to go through, but it times out.
Yeah.
He had flash and barrier. But yeah, okay, Ruler now has IE. It's a huge spike. So 5,500 gold lead to KT. But Ruler is firmly online, and KT need to kill him.
Yeah.
No way to spin it. He is the threat on the enemy team. We talked about having that insurance policy off the Smolder. I think you can kind of see what Gen.G's game plan was with it. I don't think Gen.G went into this game expecting to be 5k gold behind, but they found themselves there, and I think they're appreciating the fact they have this Smolder.
I mean, if they didn't have Smolder, like, if they had Sivir, let's say, I think you just lose.
I mean, Sivir into...
you just lose.
Sivir into Jarvan would be pretty rough.
I think the game would just be over. But now we're sitting here like, does Gen.G actually have a chance in this game?
Yeah.
Because they've been getting absolutely destroyed for 25 minutes.
It really comes down to Ruler. Can they protect him? Can he heal for himself? Can he just get the damage out? Because Perfect, it doesn't matter what items you really build. It's percentage HP true damage. You will just eventually die.
Yeah.
The Unending Despair at least gives you some healing to help sustain you up. And obviously he does do physical damage with his Q, so reducing that is good.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there's not a ton you can do to stop his damage.
Seen a lot of comps nowadays have multiple threats. I feel like we see a lot less single threat compositions nowadays. I feel like for KT they were running with just the Unara, but the fact that Cuz is so fed and also BDD is ahead, you've got extra threats.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If they were behind, it would feel like Unara a bust, but because BDD and Cuz are strong, it feels a lot more workable. Like, if Cuz gets on Ruler, he can just kind of beat him up. But it's getting to a point where it's starting to be a bit worrying, especially Ruler's starting to go some sustain, so it'll get to the point where he does so much damage he can kind of out-sustain if someone like Perfect is up in his face. I mean, he could anyway, to be honest. Perfect's not that much of a threat, but it'll eventually get to the point where he just shreds Cuz. Things slow down a bit. It is that Soul again in a minute 40. Baron is up and available, and I think any time that is bought for Gen.G is going to be positive in this game.
Definitely is. I mean, even Chovy's looking at a death cap here soon, and, he hasn't been a factor at all in this game, but if you look at the gold, he's not really behind BDD at all. And a late game Orianna, is going to be somewhat of a threat. Yep. The rest of the team isn't really doing much. Keen has some lead as Duro. He is going to get chunked out, but guess who gets chunked out even more? It's Peter.
Yeah, the rule is so scary, and the rapid fire is so hard to deal with. It gives them that extra range. And they're just willing to stop Baron.
They're just going to start it. And KT, I mean, they get vision now. The flag comes down. But the damage on this Baron is so fast. They need to close the distance right now, as Cuz is right here, ready for the steal. And it looks like that is going to be the play. It's just going to come down to a flip. Who's going to pick it up? It goes to one! It goes to one! And now Ruler in a ton of trouble. He's dead! The Q from the end, he chases him down. And they get the Baron on top of the kill. And now Gen.G just desperate to get out. Can they get away from Dugdam? Looks like the answer's going to be no, as TP's coming him in and KT want to end this game.
That's going to be game one. Keen not going to be able to do enough solo. This steal from Cuz, the 1 HP on the Baron, and the cleanup comes in. Ruler gets exploded, and KT start this series with a bang.
So all they had to do, just take the Baron, win the fight, end the game. We were very much in a slow position, and yeah, I mean, Keen's trying his best to clear the wave with the Baron buff. It's not gonna happen. Can't even deal with Tibbers. This is gonna be the end of game one. KT gonna take it down and bust all of those 3-0 predictions out the window as they're looking strong coming off of their last win here in game one.
Just start to finish, a great game from KT. You know, a game where if you make any false steps, if you make mistakes, you saw the Smolder come online, and against a team like Gen.G, there is ample opportunity for you to be punished if you misstep, and KT didn't. Even in the moments like when there was that one moment where Dr. went a little bit too hype and they still crushed that fight. There was the fight where, you know, Ruler did 8,000, 9,000 damage. They still came off that one pretty well. And I think just the way they assessed everything was really effective. The punish at that Baron was phenomenal, and Cuz, from that early invade, he was just on great form. I think Cuz just completely dominating this matchup over Canyon.
Made it look very easy right from the beginning.
Handled. Particularly Gwen and Xin Zhao, you know, the double circles. When you're playing Jhin Cassiopeia, it could kind of be a nightmare. So, you know, even though I was saying that maybe the short range comp would be uncomfortable into what KT have, I feel like skirmish is going to be hard for the side of KT. And especially, I don't think you have as much strength as you'd maybe hope for. We talked about the mid jungle being so strong for KT. Cassiopeia just doesn't bring that much to early fights because of a limited mana pool. And Trundle can be a big threat, but when you're against a Braum, I'm a little worried for KT in this game too. If they get to the later stages, I could definitely see this comp come online, but I think early levels might have a bit of a tough time.
Gonna be interesting to see if Gen.G can up the tempo here in this game number 2. They really need to get back on the horse. Let's see if they can as we hop on the rift for game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, let's jump onto the rift here for the second game of this series. Pretty surprising that Gen.G lost a single game, even though we did have a lot of 3-1 predictors. I think it's just, you know, on paper, if nothing had happened prior to this, Gen.G should be the heavy favorite, so 3-0 isn't out of the question. But the amount of momentum that KT came in with, and the fact that they started game 1 so quickly with the lead, meant that they were able to easily snowball and catch Gen.G off guard.
Yep, does make you think of the fact that Gen.G have had pretty constant play throughout the... Oh, maybe seeing something here?
This is a Braum, guys. Gen.G are like, okay, if you want to fight at level 1, we can. I am down. We are down. The collective.
Some good poison applying there by BDD. But yeah, what I was saying is this schedule for the year, with how many internationals have been, with the fact that Gen.G have been at all of them, it's been pretty non-stop. And they've been playing pretty constantly. And it is, you know, one thought I had is potentially the fact that they have had a pretty long break since the end of round 5. Maybe a factor. Coming in a little bit cold to the game 1, potentially. So we'll see if maybe they're a bit more warmed up now. I'm getting a great trade in Aduro. Just puts a 4th shot into him.
Yeah.
And you know, the level 1 threat off the Jhin combined with the Rakan being unfazed by the Braum. Obviously, level 2 for the Lucian Braum gets a lot more strength.
Yeah, for now, just skirting by. Just trying their best. Duro, nice collection there on that 1 minion. Let's take a look at the runes. Doesn't seem like anything is too out of order this time around. Talked about the PTA for the Smolder in game 1.
15-1.
He has played a lot of Gwen. Gwen has been meta for a lot of this year.
Yeah.
So, and Gen.G do win quite a lot. BDD does have a game of Cassiopeia under his belt. It was a loss, though.
Perfect missing some of the... Oh, but doing a lot of damage there. And this is the thing, it is now nerfed Gwen. And the 2 major nerfs, she got nerfed to her armor, which particularly into the Ambessa is going to feel painful.
Dr. probably going to get stunned up here. A lot of damage going into him. Peter trying to frontline as well as he possibly can. Battle Dance is back. But already level 2 hit, and Ruler and Duro upping the tempo.
Surprised you didn't get a heal out there. Normally we just, supports just throw heal immediately in, like the tempo heal. Now the support using it there. Oh, the full, oh, the blow!
Oh, GG. Here comes Ruler, gonna force that barrier out. The flash on him from Duro. Engage Braum, gonna trade flashes with the Jhin. That's a huge win here for the Gen.G bot lane.
This is one of the things with playing Rakan into an aggressive mobile lane.
Duckdom just gonna get flashed on, not respecting this. The knockup does come in, but barrier is there for Ruler. It's first blood already for Ruler and Duro.
Yeah, Peter's just playing too far up. And one of the things with playing Rakan into like an aggressive mobile opponent is your grand entrance is so telegraphed, it's so slow. You know, if you're playing Lucian, especially if you have flash, it's so easy to move past it. It's very hard to defensively peel in the early levels before you have your ult available. And Peter was also just so far ahead off his AD carry there. Wasn't even in range to battle dance. You're not playing with Isaiah. You can't E from the other side of the screen. So a little bit over-aggressive there from the support of KT. And they do end up falling down in the 2v2, which is a big hit. Pickaxe now picked up for Ruler. They go for the swap on the top side. And that lane matchup where we saw Perfect actually getting a bit of an advantage is going to be cut short.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an issue. Very nice timing here for the swap. Taking a long look at mid, as Chovy, his job is to sit here and get poisoned. Clear waves. BDD's job is to poison, make sure he doesn't miss much of the CS.
Nice dodges there.
Yeah. Sometimes dodge the burst from the rise.
Wait, Perfect hasn't... Oh, this is so... Look at the lane state.
Uh-oh.
And Perfect hasn't reset. He has no items.
He's getting poked out a bit here as well. At least he's not getting zoned off of XP, not yet. But the crash comes in, and you can see that Ruler and Duro are attempting to do that now. So they're getting right in front of him.
The thing is as well, because he has no items, he's just a lot more vulnerable to the threat. Because if he had board, maybe he can fight them off a little bit better. He's in such a bad spot, and he's not getting any help out of this situation.
And Cuz's response is to go immediately to the Dragon Pit. They were able to stack up the Dragons very quickly in game number 1. And so that just means that Perfect gets no help. Meanwhile, Keen is going in here on the Duckdom, who doesn't have any sums. And a nice sidestep there. The Needles level 6 hit here for Keen, doing a ton of damage into Duckdom already and actually winning the 1v2.
Here's the difference, you know, it's the Lucian Braum is a lot stronger early. The Lucian has that pickaxe. Keen was able to get XP to get level 6. You know, he TP'd in. He's already bought. He had the Amp Tome and the Dark Seal, so he's actually able to force them away from the wave. It's just so much better for Keen. And they're too scared to even look for a gank now with the low HP. So Keen is getting so much benefit from this situation. And Perfect was really struggling. And now, I mean, I don't think you can dive this.
All right, well, they're going to try. Keen goes in. He's very confidently going to take this 1v3 underneath the turret as Cuz has to flash away. Keen, you can see that deadly flourish. And now we got the Realm Orb coming in. Chovy wants a bit more, and I think Duckdom is just dead here as nobody is here to help. And he doesn't have any sums.
If he just stays there, maybe they'll forget.
Maybe he'll just disappear like he's Teemo in a brush or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was
just dead.
Great play from Keen. The flash there was perfect to avoid the CC from Peter. And then Chovy comes down to clean up. And again, Perfect is being zoned away from this wave. This is just Gen.G playing this masterfully. So Keen, they have the Ignite here, which is big from Peter to try and help the dive. But again, Rakan's so telegraphed, so easy to flash the Grand Entrance. And that's the only hard CC, I mean, other than the root from Duckdom, which doesn't end up connecting either. And then they all have to just run away from the play. I'm not sure why he barriered. I think he was looking for the kill on a Keen. I guess he was looking for the kill on the Keen.
Yeah.
But using the Summoner, not ideal. And now you're pretty substantially behind. They've swapped back to face up into Ruler and Duro. But I think the damage has already kind of been done with how that swap played out.
Yeah.
You look at the difference between the experience Keen had and the experience Perfect had. And I think it's obviously played out way better for the side of Gen.G there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with a comp like this, where you're going to look to brawl, any amount of lead in levels in gold is going to be so valuable. And so getting this early lead is going to be huge for them. Very different from the way that game 1 played out, where you were expecting them to get early lane leads, but everything fell apart very early. And so they really got no tempo going for themselves. Gen.G go back to the drawing board and look a lot better in this early game.
Now I'm a little concerned for Perfect, because if you're not coming out ahead in this matchup, your team's in for a bad time. Bot lane is getting punished heavily. Oh no, Peter. I mean, he still loses so much health. He gets stunned on the back end, and now ult is there for Ruler, so...
Calling available, here it is. Duckdom has to heal from Peter to get away from it, as now the counter engage is coming in as everybody trying to join on up, but you see the stun comes in, the concussive blows on a Peter, he's super low. Ruler is just kiting away from Cuz as the subjugation doesn't do quite enough.
They're winning a 2v3. You know, they're not able to get the kills, but they're able to force them off, and it just kind of shows how things are really falling apart.
Yes.
Okay, Ruler missed a cannon.
Falling apart.
You know, how things are falling apart in this bot lane matchup. And I think the Jin Rakan just not really having the power into the Lucian Braum early. And Perfect, he's getting manhandled by Keen now in this matchup.
And mid is even, but it's Chovy on Rise, so he's doing a good job of farming as he does. He's Chovying a little bit. Not super far ahead. That just means that every lane is ahead.
Yeah.
So
it's a comfortable position to be in for Gen.G. And I don't think this game is going to be impossible later on for KT. You know, we talked about how they have tools to punish the short range composition, but I think Gen.G have such just a brute force comp where you run at them, you apply the Braum passive, just kill target one by one. Everyone apart from the Rise is so great at stacking that Braum passive, and the Rise has that point and click route to help set up his team. So it's a little concerning with how things are playing out so far.
Yeah. Cuz got the first streak, but I don't foresee them having any chance to fight for the second Drake. A nice little trade here from Duckdom, so maybe, but probably not. Especially with Zero back and Cannon hanging around the area. They don't want to get stacked on like they did in game number 1.
I think they just need more time. You know, BDD's not in that position.
Yeah, going in for the engage, and you see Peter, there's nothing really he can do to help out.
The thing is, Dura just holds the wall up, and there's just nothing Duckdom can do to return the trade. And then by the time the wall's over, the trade's over.
Yeah.
So,
Lucian Braum.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's how it goes. And the thing is, what makes it worse is that Jin specifically wants to do short trades. You know, you're not one of these picks that wants to take the extended trade and be like, hey, you know, if you're playing something like a Zeri and they did that, you just ult and you just continue the extended trade after the bomb shield's down. But Jin cannot do that.
All right, so KT really want to fight for the Drake.
They want to. I'm not sure it's the best decision, though.
Looks like even Perfect's backing for the TP. They get the engage here onto one. It looks like Jovi's in a bit of trouble. Has to flash away from this, but the Rue comes in, and they select the kill on a Jovi. And now they're looking for more. Canyon a little bit isolated, but he is down. But Perfect accesses the back line. Canyon super low himself, but the culling and the needles are pretty good. BDD does a ton of damage to Ruler at the backside of this fight. And now Duro is alone. Keen trying his best to get in there and get a kill, gets the triple, but immediately gets chomped instead as Cuz takes him down, gets another one on a Duro, and KT win the fight.
Huge team fight there. The pick on the Chovy was phenomenal. And honestly, was so close to being a clean ace. Ruler just escaping with slivers of HP. I wasn't confident they could find the fight, but Peter finds Chovy, walks into a brush, gets the knock-up. The charm follows on the grounding, and then he flashes out. And this route from Duckdom, Perfect to follow. Canyon goes in with the ult. And then here, he waits the time, gets this final shot on the Canyon, he cleans him up, and then the bouncing grenade also hits Ruler there. Look how low he is, the poison nearly kills him, but the Triumph heals. And then here, Keen is such a threat. He is already such a problem. And it kind of looked like he was going to clean up, but he does kind of run out of cooldowns. Duckdom and Cuz doing so much work here. And, you know, I had a lot of concerns They managed to find that one, but we're going to have another fight, it seems, over this dragon.
Perfect's going to get here first, and I think with that roam coming down, Gen.G have to respect that, rather.
Yeah, I think they just give it up.
Yeah, not going to be able to respond. As will be Chemtech again is the only question. No, it's Infernal Soul, and KT have double dragon in this game.
Yeah, so KT really bouncing back in this one. You got to be a little careful. Keen going to get some plates here. So the dragon is obviously nice, but a second dragon only means something if you convert it into more. And in return, I mean, Keen got all those kills. He picked up a plate there. I am worried about this Gwen, is the point I'm trying to make. This Gwen is extremely scary already. But KT, considering they had a rough early start, they've done a lot to bounce back into this game.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, I was looking at this early game and saying, I don't know if KT have a real answer, but getting the catch on a 1, it does look like Gen.G are kind of sleepy as the needles are coming out. Nice little speed boost from the center. It looks like Perfect able to get away.
It's nice dodges, but it also just shows the state. This is when Ambessa should feel super strong. You have the Eclipse. This is the spike we talk about. You pick that up, you're supposed to be gaming, not playing Dance Dance Revolution trying to dodge away from the Gwen ult. We do see Duro trying to move over there.
Yeah. No Braum gank. Just hanging around. Not amounting to anything. But yeah, I mean, KT got a lot of gold on Cuz. So it's a fed Trundle, and Cuz has been making crazy things happen.
They also got a decent amount
long
on Doctam as well, which I think is good to see. Because he was pretty behind in the lane matchup. You know, he's only 400 gold down on Ruler, considering he's like 25 CS down. That's pretty nice. And I think we're kind of seeing, you know, some of the tools from KT coming out big, like the Rise being punished by the Cassiopeia. It's also the fact that KT have more engaged tools compared to Gen.G. Gen.G is hit the Braum Q and just run them down. But in terms of raw actual lock someone down, they don't have like a Rakan. They don't have a public execution on an Ambessa.
Yeah.
Oh, this is spooky.
Hiding on Bush. As here we go, they're trying to run them down, but Miasma and Pillar say no.
Yeah, hard to find those consistent engages onto KT. It is just a run at them team comp.
Yeah, it's much easier if you're ahead and you can set up on an objective. And KT kind of have to engage into you.
That's why it's big when they had the lead, because you force them to come into you. The other way around, it's a little tentative, but Gen.G are set up on the objective. This is also great for Xin Zhao, because you can stack up your Q on the neutral and just immediately get a knock-up. So you go like, get the first 2 autos, then E into knock-up and just try and one-shot Peter.
Yeah.
Who is close to that range already.
He really wants to engage, it looks like, but I don't think they've got a real angle here, so Gen.G gonna do a good job of accelerating their lead with this objective take.
Nice pick up there, did force them away. Some good poke. You don't really think of Xin Zhao as a poke champion, but apparently he is. Onto the Rakan.
Yeah, health set of the Rakan is level 7, and not very tanky at this point in time.
Is a contributing factor. They do have the redemption to sustain up if they really need it, but didn't come through there.
That was very satisfying. You see Doctam hit those 2 minions in the front. Keeping up as best as he possibly can.
Yeah, there is farm leads pretty universally across the lanes. It's only Cuz who has a CS lead in the jungle on this Trundle. And Trundle not really a pick that scales that fantastically with farm.
Perfect. Certainly threatening this one, but the public execution is going to miss, and now he has to flash away. Will he even live? No, gets snipped in the butt. And that's going to be the end of him. Keen picks up the solo kill.
That is not a good look for KT. Cuz is there now.
You know, I think he might be able to... Nope, not with Canyon here.
He just takes a chomp out of him. That's all he's going to do, and then he'll pick up the farm. But if Perfect's bleeding out in the side lane, giving more and more...
Uh-oh, the culling is here as well. Doctam barely able to get out. And just barely living is not a good feeling as, oh, he just steps up again, trying to take the trade into Ruler, baits him in, the barrier is there, we got redemption now. That's Canyon. Oh, so close, trying to get in front, but misses.
He bent the bullet around Canyon.
Yeah.
Man, that was so close, the barrier and the redemption coming through to save Ruler.
It's a nice try from Duckdom, honestly. It was very ints, to be honest.
It was actually kind of a sick bait with the barrier himself.
Yeah, it was good.
That was hype, if I'm going to be real. Here, though, Perfect stepping up to Keen, ends up missing the public execution. Nice sidestep from Keen. And then able to get that last charge of the ultimate that does so much damage there. Now set up for Dragon again. This would be third for KT. They are at a disadvantage in this position. Both AD carries, no summoners. And I think Gen.G absolutely want to secure that. They have foothold on the objective. Perfect's not even there yet.
Yeah.
And Duckdom's dealing with mid-waves. I think this is just giving up.
Peter doesn't have anything. I mean, he doesn't have flash, he doesn't have quickness. Like, they don't have reliable engage, especially Perfect not there. So it's just like, well, I guess you just give this one away. Gen.G continue with their snowball.
I think it's the right call. Just give feats of strength over to Gen.G. But I just don't think you're in a position to fight that one. Oh, that is a Braum TP.
Yeah. Cuz is here. Hear a lot of shouting behind me as they want to set something up. Duro in a very awkward spot. Has the flash and might be able to get over this wall, but the quickness is there. Jump on his teammate, and it just means that Duckdom gets the kill instead. And he will accept that with open arms.
It's a nice snipe, but the TP came down from Perfect, and it kind of makes you feel it wasn't warranted, the TP from Perfect, because it just gives up the top tower. It just gives over that resource. I think the play was good, don't get me wrong, but I think the extra resource of that TP, we kind of saw this in the previous game as well. There was a point where they TP'd and it just wasn't really needed. I think they could have made that play without the extra teleport.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things where you go for it because you want to make sure 100% we're winning this play. But the end result is you just end up trading back a little bit, and it's more gold for Keen. 1,300 ahead. You look at the team gold lead, it's 1,600. And obviously there's back and forth between some of them, right? But Keen himself is 1,300. He's about to hit second item. This Gwen is so scary.
Yeah.
And Chovy's just hit second item. They're going to be stacking up. He's already got his Archangels here. Yeah, this was a weird one. I guess the TP did just mean Gen.G weren't able to fight and they were forced away. And that's why they can just aggressively posture. But it just, I don't know. I feel like maybe they could have just punished Duro and saved the TP until more people committed. Because it just ends up them being a trade of one kill for TP and the tower, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least Duckdom got the kill and not like Peter or something. We got, oh, Chovy in a very rough spot, gonna be stunned down, and now Cuz is here. Chovy, nowhere for him to go, just accepts his fate, doesn't even flash, and just dies right before the Otacon take. It looks like KT gonna go for this one.
They have so much DPS for it.
Oh, and they're gonna turn as well. The charm comes in and Ruler's just dead for free. Gen.G is asleep at the wheel, and KT are getting so much now.
Both carries just deleted there. Huge pickups from KT. You're seeing why the Cassiopeia is prioed into Rise when you're locked in those animations. So easy to get an ult off. BDD finds it. The punish is there. Then Ruler just caught taking a wander through the jungle. Goes down, Atacant for KT. Herald is thrown down in a bizarre position where it's just going to get deleted. They will get mid-tower for this, though.
Yeah, looks like a Perfect trying his best to clear the wave. We got Cuz coming over. Keen's half health. I mean, Exhaust going to come in, but the perfect execution to get away from a lot of the damage as needles are coming in. But Keen is kind of all alone here. Yes, he has Duro. And, okay, the stun is going to come in. It looks like Keen should be able to back away, especially with Canyon there.
He is just the main character right now for Gen.G. He is so scary. They don't let him get another tower or anything, but yeah, so we see here, Chovy just steps up to BDD, and you see when he turns to cast, that's when you go for the ultimate, finds the stun, and then Chovy would have looked for a Realm Warp, but you save the pillar from Cuz so you can get the little knock up to stop it.
Yeah.
And then Ruler just walks in here. Yeah, that was a play.
Yeah. The Chovy play, it's like, okay, you know, maybe you shouldn't have stepped up to Cassiopeia. You don't have vision. Fine. That's a mistake. The Ruler play, unacceptable. That should not have happened.
Yeah, and I have to to remind you, it's 1-0 to KT in this series.
Yeah.
You know, we were saying after game 1, oh, it looks like it's not going to be a 3-0.
Still potential for a 3-0.
There's still potential for a 3-0, just not what anyone would have expected.
Yeah, we don't have a series on our hands yet. I'm not seeing it. I'm looking. I don't see anything. So
yeah,
KT could absolutely 3-0.
That would be insane. That would honestly be insane. Right now, though, it's still very close, right? It's a gold lead for Gen.G. KT do have a Dragon advantage. They do have the Arakan. The pedals are still close. Obviously, the higher value when you have the Arakan, but it's still a very close game. But I think the thing is, right, Keen is very strong, but we're seeing some of the shortcomings of this short-range composition into the Cassiopeia, into the Trundle. And it really comes down to controlling Keen in these team fights. The miasma value is massive.
Yeah.
If it can be used to lock down the Gwen, he's going to struggle. And you just don't have that reliable engage in your composition.
Peter's going in. Didn't have vision in the brush, but knew they were there.
Just testing the limits a little bit. Once again, Gen.G really focused on getting control of the area early, forcing KT to come into them.
Yeah. 7 seconds until the Drake, so... I mean, look at the setup, though. We got Jin traps, we got miasma. Like, how do you approach through this as all this short range on the side of Gen.G? And KT know this. I mean, they're just taking it very slow and keeping them at arm's length.
That's the problem, though, is that Gen.G have position on the Dragon, so now KT have to approach, and those tools aren't as useful when you're pushing in.
Yeah. Looks like they will push in now, because in position to get the smite. He was able to steal at 1 health, as now Peter extremely low, and Cuz getting pretty low himself. The redemption comes in. Cuz, he wants it, but he's not going to get it. The smite early. Oh, the stun comes in from BDD. It's gigantic, and now Perfect's on that back line. Ruler doing a great job of kiting out, though, and Keen trying to go 1v3. He's got Tovi with him now, and he's going in doing a ton of damage as the turret in the back line is doing work from the side of Duck Dom. Keen and Tovi do get pushed away, but Gen.G, they get a second Infernal Drake under their belt.
I think Gen.G can be happy. They got the Dragon and they didn't lose that team fight too hard because, man, KT started that fight so favorably with the ult that came through from BDD, with the ult from Perfect. The solo lane is connecting out of the right targets, but weren't able to find more here. We see this petrifying gaze that came through from BDD. It's a slow start. The miasma's traded for the ult for the Shroud from Gwen, and then here, BDD triple. Then the public execution on a Ruler. But if you look on the backline, Keen gets some of the carries, and he's causing so much disruption.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very tight miasma that doesn't offer much. He's also, the Shroud is back up, so it means the Jin ult doesn't do much. And in the end, it's only 2 for 1 in terms of kills for KT. And the fact that Gen.G got the Dragon, they're happy with how things panned out. I think you get such a good petrifying gaze from KT. You get the follow-up with the public execution, and you still end up, I feel like, losing out overall with the outcome of the fight. It's got to feel a little bit rough for KT.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good feel. I think, you know, at the same time, though, you can look at that fight and say, as KT, we have the tools. Like, we have the ability. Sure. If we just continue to play out these fights well, we can take them confidently and we can win this game.
Yeah, and it's not all doom and gloom, right? That fight didn't go like badly. They still came out ahead in kills. It's just a little, unfortunately, we didn't able to get the Dragon. I think it highlights the importance of being there first on these objectives. Gen.G are doing the homework, getting there first and foremost, and it's making it more difficult for KT as a result. The Dragon was already taken before the fact. And now, once again, Gen.G setting up early, getting there first, and getting position on this Baron. And that Baron is pretty fast if they can get this Gwen to hit it.
Yeah. Looks like KT are on the chase, though. Just shooing them away from the river, essentially. Pushing in as a team enables them to get vision and get position, which is what you've been talking about a lot here. And even grouping up in mid, not going to be able to hit this turret. But yeah, Keen, I think he knows his job. Just side lane, put on pressure, and be a raid boss.
Side lane, put on pressure, carry the team fights, threaten the back line, sidestep every ability.
Yeah.
Do all the damage.
Nobody else does damage. You're the only one.
Be immune.
It's like every solo queue top laner believes that. And I think that Keen kind of does have to do that. I really like the build timing here for BDD. He's hit his 3.5 items, obviously no boots, but he has the heal denial, which is going to last a long time, even without, you know, like a Rylai's or a torch, or not Rylai's, Leandri's, or a torch.
Any dot champ gets so much value from a flipping orb. It's amplified more if you have like a damage of time item, but it's still really good. We have on Peter as well.
Duro is Braum.
Rakan not as good at applying it. I guess the thought process is when you go in with your quickness, you apply to everyone, but it's shown that KT very aware of how much sustain there is between like Sundered Sky, between Redemption, the Gwen healing. They know that cutting down this healing is going to be a major factor in this game. We do have IE coming in for a ruler, so a pretty big spike there on this Lucian.
Yeah. The Lucian, if he gets in range and he has enough time and is not under threat, is going to be chunking pretty much everybody.
I mean, that's something in this game. There's just so much farm on Chovy and Ruler. Like, you think of Keen being the main character, and he does have the biggest lead, but he has 70 less CS compared to Chovy. He has 70 less CS compared to Ruler. Like, Gen.G are putting their resources on their carries, so even though Keen has been this main character so hard to deal with, their carries are still very strong. They both have 3 items, more items than Keen. So they do need to, and you know, I made the jokes earlier about Keen have to do everything. You cannot disrespect the carries on Gen.G.
Absolutely not. Also kind of highlights, you know, that Perfect is not exactly in the best spot. Peter goes in, nearly dies, but they get the root on a Canyon here. Definitely a nice amount of chip damage, but Miasma already used. As we're setting up for this Infernal Drake in 5 seconds, trying to get position here in the Banana Brush. As another root's going to come down. They're doing a good job of keeping Gen.G at bay, but Gen.G now set up on another objective. Getting this one pretty low. The snipes are coming in on a Duro, though, as the last shot might just be shot into Canyon, but it's going to go the way of Canyon. He's super low. He goes down. Perfect keeping Keen at bay. And look at the rest of Gen.G. They're melting like butter on the right side with a hot knife going right through it on the side of KT. As Keen, yeah, he's going to get the 1v1. But now KT, they look for Baron.
And you know, Perfect, he did his job. He kept Keen occupied, right? And it's not a thankful job, but...
Okay, we're just flashing on Keen here. Might be able to get it. That pillar is not the best, but it's still going to be a kill. Cuz gets the shutdown. The hero of KT is back.
And you see the difference in this fight when the Gwen isn't there. Gen.G just don't have the gas in the tank. They don't have the threat on the back line. KT push forwards, able just to dive onto the rest of Gen.G. Duro gets chunked out massively. Doctam just landing these shots here. Hits 2. Look how much damage this is doing, by the way. Chovy has to move in and block them. And then Canyon tries to zone Cuz away. Does end up getting the smite, but Canyon just gets shredded immediately. And then this ult comes out with the pillar, with the miasma, and it doesn't stun, but they're all slowed and they get melted. This short-range comp struggling. And in the meantime, yes, Keen wins the 1v1, but he's not there for the fight. And then Cuz just says, you know what? I wanted Baron, but I'll take the Gwen.
Sure. Why not? And, you know, all the cinders come flying out. Cuz is 3,500 gold ahead of Canyon. And the jungle gap in these 2 games has been disgusting.
We so often see Trundles deciding, do they want Triforce? Oh.
Okay, BDD just having a bit of fun. Face checking the brush against 4. Down he will go.
Okay, not optimal. As I was saying, we so often see Trundles deciding, do I want Triforce? Or do I want Sundered Sky? Because it's like, I'm taking both, you know? I am the carry. I'm making Trundle really work in this one.
I mean, everybody has to run into the Trundle.
Yeah.
So if he is in range and actually does damage, we've got another threat here on the side of KT. It's like 4 threats.
Yeah.
If you're this far ahead.
I mean, Gen.G just, they have to run into KT. And, you know, I talked about the concerns with the early game of the Cassiopeia into things like the Braum, Lucian, Xin Zhao, very threatening. We're well past that. BDD is such a problem. That miasma comes down, and it just shuts down Gen.G. They are trying to do the C target, kill target strategy, though. And KT are trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
It's Baron for KT, and yet Gen.G picking up an inner top. So a little concerning.
Yep, it's the Red Bull Baron power play. Negative gold at this point in time.
Not ideal. And remember, even though that last fight was won handily by KT, it's 3 Infernal Dragons to Gen.G.
Yeah.
1 away from that Infernal Soul, so they're not out of the woods yet.
Not out of the woods. I mean, KT have their share of the objectives with the Otacon coming through, the extra petals at 31. And yeah, they got a couple of individual drakes.
It's also pretty phenomenal for Jin, getting the extra adaptive force from the Otacon. I mean, you'd love to also have Infernal Dragons too, just because you scale your with adaptive force, your AD scales to such absurd numbers with all the modifiers from the passive. But doesn't have the IE yet. A minute 30, he just picked up the BF sword. I don't think he's going to have the IE in time for that dragon fight, which is pretty unfortunate, because that is an item you'd love to have.
He actually is already doing such insane damage. Like, we saw his ult, we saw the damage when he's just not under any threat in that fight the last time around. Cuz in a weird spot here, he's going to get slowed down by that. He's going to have to go for the subjugate as a massive Realm Warp comes in straight onto BDD. He says, I'll take the fight, I can't go anywhere. As now Redemption's coming in, they're going to Axis right at the heart of Gen.G. Canyon is so low, and so is Duro. But this is 4v4 for the moment, but now Ruler comes in, and it's going to be Gen.G's fight. They're going to take down Perfect. That's a second kill to Gen.G.
And they opt into the fight, a member down. This means Soul for Gen.G. Oh, BDD gets caught out again, cuz a little bit out of position gets put. Doctam?
Okay, just...
Okay. Wait, double TP coming in. They're looking for more. KT, you guys need to be careful.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Keen is behind them. And at this moment, they just do not know. They're going to see it now. But now we got a TP that's coming in up top.
They should just kill the Braum, honestly, but it's going to be hard.
I don't know if they can. I mean, Subjugation does come out, but Keen flashing on in. A very awkward fight here, as it is going to be the kill on a Duckdom, the kill on a Cuz, as Chovy just going to solo down the Dragon. Everything falls apart in the span of a couple of minutes.
Yep, and that's Soul now for Gen.G. Gold lead back in their favor, and just when things started to feel like KT was looking at a 2-0, a couple of mistakes, and Gen.G are back in control here. Cuz overextended it, and that level 16 slow on the Gwen ult is the one that didn't get nerfed. BDD gets exploded here. And Gen.G have really lent into their C-target, kill-target strategy with this composition. Canyon nearly going down. If he dies, it's a different story, because without a jungler, that Dragon's a surefire thing. But Perfect ends up going down as well. And then here, the Braum flank. And you know, you're right, there's not time to kill him, but I just don't think they had another option.
Yeah.
They just die.
There's nowhere to go. I mean, they were corralled by Keen up the river.
I just feel like they were pushing mid. I think the thought process was, hey, if we push mid, they can't, like, take structures, but they went... I just don't think they were gonna. I think their play was always get Soul.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Infernal Soul for Gen.G. I mean, they were already doing so much damage when they connected on the targets. And, you know, Doctam still doesn't have that Infinity Edge. Ruler's now 4 items plus a QSS.
Yeah.
With Infernal... 4 Infernal Dragon Infernal Soul.
Everybody chunks. I mean, even Duro does damage. It's going to be quite the damage fest here.
Yeah.
And Gen.G, if they see anyone, could be Trundle, could be... I mean, everybody else is less tanky, so... Even if it is Cuz, you just kill him. It's fine. They have the damage.
Yeah. I mean, everyone just is going to be so burstable, you know, at this point. And their comp is good at that.
Look at Peter's angle here. This is so strange. I thought he was actually going to go for it.
For Doctam, so a big spike there. KT trying to posture here.
Yeah. I mean, KT, they haven't had a couple of fights that were real, right? I mean, there is still a chance. It's not like it's over. It's just going to be very difficult. The poke is coming in from the Jin, and Gen.G, they have to be careful about getting poked out before the fight begins, because that's where all your power is when that fight begins, when you can dogpile onto one target. But they're just keeping them at range. They're looking for Peter. This is a Rakan, so not going to be an easy target there. As now the Realm Warp, just a little fake engage, maybe for vision. Not going to do all too much.
Yeah, just threaten them, force them back. Both teams trying to contest these mid waves. Oh, it's so spooky.
I mean, they're in the bush. They gotta be there, cause he's gonna get stunned down and he's dead. And that's exactly what we were talking about. BDD just pops like a balloon, and the damage is just way too much. Gen.G, they just wait perfectly as the perfect execution comes in from Perfect, actually, and it doesn't matter. 3 kills, or rather 4 kills, will go over to Gen.G, and they will look to end this game 38 minutes in.
An answer back from Gen.G. Definitely not clean game. Oh, okay. Good dead.
Yeah, Braum pretty good. He's getting some shots in. Okay, that's actually pretty close. Doesn't matter. This game is over, and Gen.G will force the series to be on our hands. A couple of critical mistakes from KT in the late game, and Gen.G are there to capitalize and bring this to 1 against 1.
I think this is sometimes the games you often get from Gen.G, where, you know, they do fall behind early, and there's some mistakes that happen, right? And they're punished heavily, and you end up losing a game that was definitely winnable, and I think KT are going to be a little frustrated at that. But you think about the fact that game 1, KT was so dominant, and game 2 was more of a struggle for Gen.G to win. This still doesn't feel like they've had a full return to form from Gen.G, and Cuz has been on an absolute tear. Canyon is getting jungle gapped. Both games he's gotten jungle gapped in this one, so if he doesn't step up, they are not out of the woods yet. And I think Gen.G, you know, they managed to win this largely on the back of Keen, who did this monstrous effort to keep them in this game. So I think KT need a significant early lead in this game. They need momentum, and they can't make mistakes, because I think the second they do, I think this game is Gen.G's.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising to see them lean so heavily into the engage when they started off with Galio and Vi. And, I mean, they really rounded it out perfectly. We were thinking about the Corki, but the Sivir really goes well with this comp, so they take that instead. It all just makes sense here for Gen.G, and there were only so many tools. You know, Renata Glass, Bands, Braum, Fearless Bands. Really enjoyed MSI and EWC, looking forward to LCK Finals and Worlds. We'll see if they can get there. And wouldn't be a big surprise if they do. As we take a look at all the compositions here, very aggressive here from the side of Gen.G on red side. We'll see if they can do it up against KT Rolster for game number 3.
시간사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we go, game number 2.
30초 남았습니다.
As a win already for Gen.G. Getting the damage on a Duck Dom. So Keen is number 1, rank 1 in Korean Arena on the leaderboards at rating 4525. What is your rating?
I just looked it up. I'm rank 9,202.
So close. Wow.
I'm not quite as good as Keen, you know.
I mean, you do play with Chronicler and I, so...
Yeah, Keen try and get rank 1 playing with Chronicler. No, that's unfair to Chronicler. Chronicler, he's a great teammate. He gives me the moral support.
Yeah.
We're a great team. There was this one time, you know, it's really funny. So he got Taric, and he got this augment called Overflow, and what it does is it doubles your mana costs.
Yeah.
But it makes it so you do more damage and healing and shielding based on how much mana you have. Oh.
Hello.
Okay, because it's going to get forced away, I would assume. Oh no, Canyon's getting forced away. Good pressure coming out from BDD here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Galio just can't do enough, getting chunked out. But yeah, to my arena point, so he went Overflow on Taric, and it doubled his mana cost, so he just went every round immediately, and we just lost.
That is really funny, yeah.
Yeah, well...
Good story.
I was just silently seething. And he was like, oops, my bad. And now we laugh about it.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
What about when he, like, autos and, you know... gets his cooldowns back, he can spend his mana quicker.
It was just like, okay, let's stop. Oh, I'm out of mana. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution.
At least he plays Arena with you.
Yeah, when's the last time you played Arena with me?
I think that last time that we played, that was like a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'd be rank 1 if you played with me sometime.
Yeah, not that good.
Okay, to the game. Yeah, so, cuz finding opportunity. Oh, we see a gang coming around here from Canyon.
Uh-oh.
Chovy is low, though.
Still, I mean, the stun is going to come in, and Chovy is tanky enough. That's the flash out of BDD, just like that.
Yeah, nice flash pickup. Good gank from Canyon. And if they can find an opportunity to punish BDD's lack of flash in the future, that's going to be a nice pickup.
I would assume they can, with both of those mid laners keeping their flash. As a big trade down in the bottom side, Duckdom is going to win this one, as the engage did come out from Peter.
Yeah, Duckdom not able to find the root on the feathers. You can see Ruler, you just run ahead, able to sidestep when the root comes through. The cleanse burn and on the back end of the trade, so nice there from KT. And again, emphasis on them. They need that early advantage in this game, I feel, to make the team fights work. And because I don't think we've seen like a Skarner carry game in the LCK.
No, not really.
We've seen Skarner have high impact, but he's just, especially because one of the nerfs, you know when he was like really meta?
Yeah.
To take him out of the meta, they nerfed his damage. So he is just a CC bot, you know, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which, he's not Cassante, right? He's not CC and a million billion damage.
Yeah. The nerfs to Cassante, they were more to his tankiness, right? So he became a little bit squishier and all out and stuff.
Yeah, I think they nerfed a lot of things.
They did, yeah. Okay, he's gonna barely get out of range here.
That was cheeky.
Calculated.
Perfect, keeping him on his toes. He is very low on HP though. And not intentionally, you know, sometimes at level 6 you want to be low HP. No, he's not level 6, he's just low. He does have a lot of biscuits though. He is chomping on those biscuits.
He's the biscuiteer.
He's getting max biscuit value.
All right, here we go once again. Ruler. Stun could come out if he wanted to flash, but not going to force it. There's the flash, and no cleanse this time. Ruler in a ton of trouble. First blood picked up by the Xayah, and now we got Cuz in the bottom lane. Speaking of the Skarner carry, he is here before Canyon can get there. It's now knock up, and, well, yeah, Chovy's going for a little flight. But yeah, nice early pickup here for KT.
So well played. Peter just manhandling Ruler right now in the matchup. Duro doing everything he can to peel for his AD carry. But not able to save him from that. You know, the second rotation of cooldowns comes through. That's one of the things with Leona. You have those low cooldowns available. Okay, that was cheeky.
Got him.
That was very rude. And actually might be a bit rough, because I think...
Chovy? Okay, this time he's going to buffer it once again, but has to flash as the rocks were going to do enough damage.
That's big, because I was thinking there's going to come a point in the game where Chovy just flashes on BDD and kills him while his flash is down. And it's one less tool available to Gen.G to punish that lack of summoner on BDD. So nice pickup. The laning going well for KT so far in the mid and bot lane. And to be honest, top, Perfect's still keeping up in CS, so I don't think he really cares if he's down in health. Yeah, so this... Peter goes in with his Zenith Blade, waits out the spell shield. The peel comes in from Duro, the Q misses, but he gets the knock up. And then Peter's like, okay,
well, bam.
pulls it down, flash stun, the follow from Duckdam. Beautifully played. And then Duro also has to flash out here. Does land the second Shattering Strike, didn't get the first one, so... Yeah, just the bot lane of Gen.G not doing so hot in this matchup.
Yeah. Doesn't feel very good for them. Ruler keeps stepping up to the Leona and finding out what happens when you do that. So, unfortunate for him. But now no flash. Has his cleanse back. Perfect has hit level 6, as has Team. And first Drake also went over to Gen.G, so that's pretty nice. BDD out on the map, thinking about maybe a play on top side, but Canyon here.
Ooh.
Gonna wall away.
Nice time to get away on that one. It's Ocean Chemtech. So the Ocean, early Ocean is the best dragon, I would say. Just the fact that that's sustain and lane really valuable. But then also, Ocean Chemtech means it's going to be a great soul. So getting those 2 first dragons, if you can get them for Gen.G, would be massive. But already having one you feel really good about. And yeah, definitely means that we're not going to get slapped with an underwhelming soul in this game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, what is the worst soul out of what is left? I feel like Cloud is really OP for Gen.G. It's pretty good for KT, but not amazing. As Cannon's here, might just press his ult button, waits for the seismic shove. BDD still doesn't have his flash, as the taunt gonna hit both of them, and BDD so close to getting his flash back, but it's not gonna happen. Peter TPing in just to kind of get hit by the Vi, and the heroic exit comes out from Chovy.
It feels so bad because Peter TP's in, Knockdown runs over, and they both just get out, and the timing is perfect from KT. I feel like, honestly, something pro players should do is look at your flash timer, and if it's like 45 seconds to go, the amount of times I've seen a gank come in that window.
Yeah.
If you're at that window, just expect a gank, because that's what happens, and Canyon waits for the seismic shove to ult to buffer it. Canyon comes, Cuz comes in, can't get the ult in time because of the CC, and look, you can see on the bottom of the client, his flash is up now. 5, 6, 7 seconds after his death. So pretty unfortunate. But a great timed gank by Gen.G. Didn't have the flash from Chovy, didn't matter, and KT a little bit too slow to respond.
Yeah, so Gen.G, they strike back. There's a nice play on the bottom side from KT, but now you've got gold on a Chovy, who is going to be hitting that Hall of Radiance very quickly, and once that happens, BDD doesn't really deal too much damage to him anymore.
Yeah, not the person you'd want the gold on the most, but you'll take it. Could really pick up. Also, even though there was that kill onto Dr. early on, Ruler's not really behind in that match. Oh, the stun. Doesn't... Oh, okay. I saw him interrupt the hook shot, and I'm like, oh?
Yeah.
Are they gonna go aggressive? They're gonna root him? And Dr. was like, you know, I could, but there's some minions here.
Dr. took a look at his flash. He's like, no, they're gonna gank me.
Yeah.
It's like the Ox principle. You don't want to make a play when you don't have your flash for the next 20 seconds or so.
That's true, actually. You know, if your flash is like 3 minutes away, you know, they ain't thinking about that.
Yeah.
It's like when you have an essay due or something, and you're like
100 words long.
Yeah. It's like it's for the next day, and you only start working on it at like 1 a.m. in the morning. You know, you're like, guys, the deadline's soon, gotta get it in. It's the same with summoner spells. It's like, guys, the summoner spell's coming up soon. We haven't done anything about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta make the gank happen.
Well, that's when you do your best work, right? When you're under pressure.
Exactly.
To be fair, the clock is ticking.
To be fair, I think the actual situation was when Canyon had his ult, which is a good tool for ganking a flashless champion, but I like to believe it's the best work, last-minute procrastination mindset.
Yeah.
Because that is what I would do as well.
They'll never expect it. They're going to assume they'll get their flash back in time, but they won't. Little engage onto Cassante, as the two of them are like, nah, we can't do this, and the flash comes out. As now TP to the top lane from Duro. Cuz and Peter sticking around because BDD is here as well. 4v2. As Chovy has his TP as well, not going to use it. In goes Keen, and he's in a bit of trouble. Cuz taking a bunch of damage from the turret, tanks it up. BDD gets the aggro, actually. Flashing on in is Cuz. They finally get the kill on a Keen. It looks like Duro should follow, right?
No.
He's going to hop on the horse.
Guys.
I think he just gets away.
There's no way he just walks us off.
He just walks away.
Well, he doesn't actually. He rides away into the sunset.
Exactly.
Wow. What a journey. And it's going to be second Dragon for Gen.G, which they feel super happy about with the Dragon RNG that came in. So, a very focused effort to make that happen. And I think KT not feeling as good that they only got the one kill there, and they weren't really able to translate it into many plates.
Ooh.
And it's Hextech Soul. Oh, man. So this felt like super split focus that came out here. Everyone is hitting Keen apart from Cuz, who's like just occupying Duro. They do let the tower aggro drop after a bit, because look how much it's doing to BDD. Hitting Peter for a lot, and then they're like, okay, drop it. They're like chasing Duro. And then Dokkan doesn't want to flash, and then he can't flash after a point. Peter did. He was like, I'm going in. I've got Hex Flash. I'm a support. I don't care.
And everybody missed.
But Dr. saved his flash and was like, whatever. He definitely could have picked up the kill. And I think I understand the decision to save the flash. I respect it. But it did mean they missed out on that kill. He's going to get another plate there. But the 2 dragons for Gen.G is feeling pretty good. With it being a Hextech Soul.
Yeah, I mean, Double Dragon is going to be fantastic. The only thing is, if KT continue with the lead and they're able to compound on this, maybe they just do what Gen.G did in Game 2 and begin to just stack the Drakes.
Yeah, I'm just a little concerned because, again, my view of this game is that KT needed a lead coming into this one, and the fact that Gen.G have the 2 dragons means that Gen.G buy time, and you're buying time with a Sivir and a Camille. You know, it's a little concerning. They really want this top tower.
Being so annoying. All right, 4v3 now, as they've finally called enough troops up to the top lane to continue to stand around.
Okay, they've just locked in on this lane.
Right.
Rulo's moving over, but he's like, guys, I could just farm mid. And he will go to do that.
They're still here. And they say we win the 3v3.
Yeah, he really wants those plates. You know, if he was playing Ziggs, he could just kill he could just kill the tower.
Should have played Ziggs.
No, I don't think Ziggs is
the answer. Yeah.
But maybe.
No plates. Just a lot of time spent hanging around, little 3v3 action in the top lane.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's certainly... KT really wanted that tower, and they won't be rewarded for it. It's now Herald up in about a minute. We got Dragon in 2 minutes 40. I think KT still pretty strong where they are right now. Even in terms of play cold as well. But yeah, they're getting the Seraphs is coming through soon for BDD. They have gold leads, you know, in the top lane. But Dokdam as well has a bit of an advantage, so I think they should set up for this Herald. If they get the Herald, potentially utilize that either in the Dragon fight itself, in the team fight and Heralds we've seen, or just use it on mid to get extra pressure for the Dragon fight. But this third Dragon, if you lose that third Dragon fight, the game might be in a dire spot.
You just have to fight every single time a Dragon is up. You don't have any room to make any more mistakes for the rest of the game.
And it also means it's kind of one of these situations where even if you win the fight, if you lose the soul, you could just be cooked.
Yeah.
We've seen teams win against Hextech Soul, but it makes it so much harder.
I feel like the fact that Dokdam got the 2 kills is pretty huge for KT. Like, the amount of damage the Xayah does as the game comes along, especially when everybody is running straight at her, is going to be pretty huge. So if KT maintain, it's not a huge lead, and they're behind on Dragons, but I still see a world in which, you know, Talia Xayah has enough damage and enough peel back that it will be difficult for Gen.G to engage eventually, as we got a fight brewing here. Looks like they want to engage on someone. Peter's going forward. They say, okay, we might just choose the Leona. Eventually, the damage is there. They go in onto the Skarner, and the Galio's right on top as KT are down a member this entire fight and still take the fight. As Peter just a little bit too far forward. As, oh, it goes to Xayah! The Xayah Feathers get the kill on the Rift Herald. As now going in is perfect 1v5. He's got Dokdam behind him with the Feathers. He's actually doing a ton of damage. But guys, you're down so many members. As maybe they get the kill on a Canyon. Yes, they will. 505 gold goes to the Xayah. But still a very messy kind of situation around the Rift Herald.
You're seeing how much work Dokdam is doing to try and make this game happen. Literally, this Xayah is doing so much. Ruler trying to step up. He has to be a little careful, although Dokdam is very low. Dragon's up in 24. You need a base. We'll see a replay. So I think the main thing is BDD is just nowhere near when the fight starts. They go on the Leona, who's just not that tanky yet. Then they turn on to the Skarner as well. Dokdam gets a ton of feathers down here, trying to get a big pull. But unfortunately, both the frontliners just die. They're supporting the jungle gone. Misspike at Canyon, it went at 2 HP. And then here, Dokdam again gets so much value, setting up the feathers in this situation, gets a big pull in, not able to be threatened because the tower's there. Ults, and then this flip from BDD into the redirect. Beautiful. And now it's given them position onto the Dragon. They should be able to get this. They have the team fighting Herald.
Yeah, no jungler here. Canyon just not here. And then team fight Herald comes out. He's going to send that mid. It looks like Peter, we know he's willing to send it. Maybe he just looks for the knockup? No, just taking the wide routes here. As the mid turret goes down, BDD is basically dead. Duckdom is isolated, and Peter probably just dead himself after the charge.
Yeah. Oh, they got Chovy.
No, I guess they didn't. BDD solo has no flash. Duckdom still doesn't have any summoners. Like, very wonky team fights, and Gen.G is winning them all.
I thought they were going to go for the engage, Harold.
Yeah.
And they went for the... Yeah, so I thought they were going to look for an angle for an engage on, like, Chovy really here.
Go left.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he just went for the tower and just died. And then they're so split. And then I think... I don't have any words to describe that ult from Cuz.
If he gets him, like, he dies. He
dead.
pulls him
Yeah,
under
100%.
turret, they have enough damage.
He's 100% dead.
BDD and Duckdom are there, like, he dies.
Galio is not a thin model, you know. He has a thick character model, and hard to miss. Sorry, and he did miss.
He's got shutdown gold on him as well. He's got the biggest gold lead in the game. Like, that would have been massive for
Look,
KT.
Cuz has had a great series. That was not a great play. It happens. Right now, Gen.G, the Dragon went over to KT, but Gen.G got 2 towers on the back of it, so pretty sizable lead. Especially across the top side. We had that lead between 80 carries. It's kind of disappeared. Rulers 2-1 and 2 now on this Sivir. It's getting a little spooky.
I mean, Gen.G, they haven't played the cleanest series, but as the series goes on, it does look like they are getting cleaner and cleaner. I wouldn't call this a super clean game, but it's clean enough. And KT have kind of taken the opposite route, where they were clean, and now they're not. As all these fights are very confusing and kind of all over the place.
Duckdom feels like the Keen of Game 2, you know? Like, he is doing everything to try and make this game happen. But it definitely feels like he's against difficult odds right now. Gen.G favored. They have feature strength. They have a big gold lead. They are still ahead in terms of dragons, despite not getting the last one. They are 18 petals to 1, by the way. They're getting petal dipped as well.
Yeah, I don't really know how that happens. Like, KT had a decent amount of...
These flowers spawn, and whoever hits them, they get the petals.
Ox.
And so Gen.G will have hit more flowers.
It's very helpful.
Than KT. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, you said that already.
I feel like we're just going to enter a lull state until the dragon spawns. I don't feel like... You know, KT, they have to wait for Gen.G to engage into them. There's not really a world where they just run at them. And Gen.G will play it I mean, I think very patiently.
The problem is if KT engage, I think it's pretty hard for Duckdom and BDD to get damage. If you find a pick, sure, fine. But in terms of a 5v5, you kind of need Gen.G to come into Duckdom so you can get his damage off.
Yeah.
Get value out of the Unraveled Earth. BDD went Rylai's. I really don't like this. I feel like you need to be doing damage here. You only have 2 damage threats, and you're going like a utility item? Like, the enemy composition is all going to be on your Unraveled Earth anyway. Like, you don't need the extra slow. I think this is a mistake.
Well, he's going to be pretty tanky. I guess there's that. But yeah, I do agree. You have a very nice front line. Even if they do press everything onto you, then your Xayah will do a lot. And, you know, if you're not a real damage threat, then they can just only go for Xayah, and then you're not really a threat at all if she's already dead. So Chovy just able to push perfect out of the lane. Was up 2 levels, now up just the 1.
Yeah, Perfect only really has armor, so...
Yeah.
And is down in farm quite considerably compared to Chovy. Obviously, even in like his lane matchup, but not laning in the all lane matchup at the moment.
Just avoid the damage perfect, which he is. But yeah, we're just waiting for this dragon to spawn. There's also Otacon here.
This, I feel like, is the pivotal point of the game. Both objectives up and available. You win a fight heavily here, you get both. And I think especially Gen.G, they're favored in terms of gold. They have some big item spikes that have just come through. They're heavily favored in terms of petals. If they get these, the game is just over. So KT are fighting for the deficit, and they need to find a way to win this. Otherwise, I think it might just be over, and it might be Gen.G going to match point.
Which, you know, if they do end up winning the series like 3-1, nobody would be surprised, but it wouldn't tell the story of the way this series started.
No.
And how KT were able to almost win 2 games. But making it pretty interesting regardless, because he notices that the dragon is pulled out here. Going to be a little bit of a flip, it looks like, as the turn not really coming through. The wall is there, and it goes over to Cuz. Picks it up, denies the soul points, as Cuz absorbing a lot of the pressure, as now they go in with the Galio. Duckdom has to go to the feathers. He's so far up in this one, just has to flash away, can't do the damage, and now they just run at them with the on the hunt. As Duckdom steps back into the Galio, and that will be enough. The kill goes over to Ruler with the red buff, and Cuz is out of there as well, and this should be at least the Otacon to Gen.G.
It's a good smite from Cuz, but it's just not enough in the team fight. Domination from Gen.G, and with the Otacon as well, I feel like this game is pretty over and done. Such an advantage is going to be picked up from this, and I think they're just not going to have the damage from here on out. Let's see how the fight played out. So Cuz, you know, he gets the dragon and is kind of in an uncomfortable spot here, but he's just the frontliner. Duckdom gets engaged on, has to Featherstorm from here because he's in such an uncomfortable spot. But he's used his main cooldown, he's used his flash, he's already low, and he just gets run down by the rest of them. Perfect zoned up to the side. BDD had to flash over, and then he's just chased down by Ruler. This comp is so unforgiving. You know, you have the movement speed of the Sivir, the movement speed of the Rel. They will just chase you down.
It's just another one of those fights that, you know, they were all scrambling to get into the Drake, and it left them in a really awkward position, especially for Duckdom. Like, you want to be kiting back in a straight line, ideally, not fighting around the corner of the Dragon Pit with your 80 carry next to the Galio.
Yeah.
You know, you're never going to win a fight like that with this composition.
If you have to ult and flash just to get into where your starting position should be, you know it's already cooked.
All right, well, they're looking for the Cassante here, as everything going to be used in terms of the flash and the dash. Perfect, nowhere for him to go. You're not getting away from Camille and Galio. And bye.
You know what? At least KT have a pedal. It's better than another certain game
Is it?
we've seen.
I feel like
we had
better to have zero.
We had that zero pedal. You think it'd be better to have zero?
Then maybe it's like, okay, they've made a conscious decision not to get pedals, but now it's like they were trying.
Who took the pedal? who made the?
Yeah, we need to know who got the pedal actually.
Who was the one pedal taker in the course of this game? We don't know. Someone broke the line.
Any peddlers?
Yeah. Peddler.
Peddlers, yeah.
Peddler.
Yeah. It works better in American English.
Peddler.
But you're probably like petal.
Peter pedaled a pedal.
Peter pedaled a pedal for his pedaling team.
Beautiful.
Good job, Peter. It probably wasn't Peter, but for the rhyme, it has to be.
Yeah, it works the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fortunate that we have Peter here.
Yeah. Otherwise, BDD, we have perfect. I mean, that's pretty good too.
Peter and perfect pedal to pedal. Don't lose me.
Look at the damage they're taking just standing next to the turret.
Just existing is pain right now for KT.
IE Sivir, 3 items.
Yeah, pretty strong. They're just gonna go to Baron. You know, why not? Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is gone.
It's pretty spooky, pretty hard to see in that vicinity. Cuz is walking over. I don't think you get anywhere close. He's 2 levels down.
They have vision now. He's got to descend it. He doesn't have his flash. He will get into the pit. They do turn onto him, though, as a lot goes into the Skarner, but will the damage be there for the Xayah as Ruler gets pretty low? Keen also getting low on the right side. That's a kill to Duckdom, but some heavy health bars here on the side of Gen.G, and some really low ones on the side of KT. It's going to push them back in the 1-for-1, but at least they stopped the Baron.
Honestly, decent from KT, you know, finding the value as Gen.G Oh, there it is!
Peter!
It was Peter!
Peter the pedal peddler!
Peter the pedal peddler! We got the lore! Oh,
I can't
good
believe
in
they found
production.
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Duckdom getting so much value here. The ult from Cuz holding Keen in front of him. And the Baron was also actually hitting Ruler for a lot of this fight, so not ideal circumstances for Gen.G. I'm just so in awe that we found Peter, Peter the Pedal Peddler.
I mean, I guess it's not. No, it is very difficult. Very good job, production.
Thank you very much.
I was gonna try to explain it, but I don't think it's worth. Duck Dom has done the most damage in the game,
but he doesn't have the most pedals in the game.
He doesn't.
That was Peter. Well, on KT,
team.
on KT, sorry.
Yeah.
I do think there's a good chance someone on Gen.G has more pedals than Peter.
Probably,
Not proportionally,
say, yeah.
You know, right now Peter has 100% of his team's pedals, so I think proportionally he has the most.
Just taking the dragon.
Yeah.
Hiding on bush for KT.
They are trying to move over. Cuz with a slick smite, maybe?
I mean, he's gonna get in, and Canyon is here, but he's alone as the smite goes to KT again. It's a third Hextech dragon.
Let him go. Let him go.
Let him go. Was thinking about not letting him go, but he's gonna let him go.
Let him go.
And there you go. So the kill does go to Gen.G. They should be able to get the Baron off.
How do they have 3 dragons? I'm just in disbelief. They just let him walk in. Okay, Perfect died. Not ideal, not optimal, but just all you have to do is try and prevent them from getting Baron.
This Baron actually does damage. You were talking about it before, hitting Ruler. This is the Baron that does a ton of damage. So Ruler's got to be careful. You've still got Duck Dom, who is a Fountain Laser. Little flank here from Chovy on the right side, but Duck Dom's got good positioning for now. But the front line is just being chewed apart here by Gen.G. They're going to take him down. Now the ult comes in on the BDD, and the follow-up is there as well. Nice damage here from Duck Dom, though. They go very deep for the kill on a BDD, and there's the taunt as the Featherstorm comes in. A massive flash to get him out with the feathers. But it's still a win to Gen.G.
Ruler?
Yeah, Ruler's looking for it, and with no Featherstorm, you will be taken out as Ruler flashes the Samsung Galaxy, and they will be taking this Baron now.
So hard to fight from this much of a deficit. KT, they managed to get the Dragon, but they can't stop the Baron. And Gen.G, I don't think it really matters that they lost that Dragon in the end. They will pick up the Purple Worm. They will be able to use his buff. Likely to push to an end because they're going to have a 10,000 gold lead after this. Pretty hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Perfect, he's back. He's here.
Just hanging out, watching the Baron go down.
It was already hard to 5v5, but in this 4v5, the Unraveled Earth gets thrown down, and they kind of just push in and explode, and then Keen looks for BDD. Duck Dom finds a good angle, like hitting from over the wall here. And then Chovy comes in over the wall, ends the taunt a little early, so Duck Dom doesn't get the ult in time. And then Ruler, this is so cheeky. Hello. Just sneaks around, and Chovy was there to tank the tower to guarantee it. Yeah, well played from Gen.G, but they are now incredibly far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Drakes and Xayah are nice, but 11,000 golds is nicer.
And 38 pedals.
38 empowered pedals.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Gen.G are the pedal peddlers now. Doesn't quite have the same ring. Doesn't feel as good. Yeah,
they need someone with a name starting with P on the team, really.
Yeah.
If you want to have the peddlers. Who else do we have in the league who would be? Does KT just have a monopoly?
Nah, Prince doesn't work that well because of the R.
Does KT just have a monopoly on people who would be good peddlers?
There must be someone else that has a name starting with P, right? That we're just
But
forgetting.
It's like the PE, you know? Like Peter, Perfect.
Peter and Perfect, yeah.
It's so good.
All right, collapse here on a Keen. This is a Camille level 17 with Flash. Gonna catch him out of the hook shot. Does not get over the wall. The exhaust is there. Peter's taking insane amounts of damage.
Peter.
And now the Galio comes in. And Keen is like, well, good try, guys. Nice work, buddy.
He's a little strong.
Yeah.
You know, I don't hit the attempt. I think you have to try something, but this game is feeling pretty doomed right now. 13,000 gold lead. They're just pushing the waves. And the problem is, you're so hard to stand near the tower because the Sivir just chunks you from the ricochet.
Yeah.
See Duck Dom clearing the waves, but they're just gonna. Oh, they're gonna go the triple inhib.
I thought about another player that starts with P, by the way, Peanut.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah.
How did we miss?
That's kind of the very obvious one.
Peanut, the peddler. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. But the Valor is different, though. Nice knockback here on a Chovy. That's going to be a follow-up, but Perfect just gets pelted. The Chovy does as well, but he's got so many stacks on his Magice, he's going to play it safe. Trying to hold on desperately to the Nexus turrets, but 15,000 gold and a redemption. It's going to keep them healthy for now.
Look at the cannon minions. They are just shredding these towers.
Yeah, they really are. Engage will eventually just come in. They're trying to burst down Chovy, but he just goes gold, and the Impale is there, but the damage is not. Duro gets low, but it just doesn't matter. Gen.G, they were going to win this game for the last 10 minutes, and they finally are going to take down the Nexus alongside of it, as they will take the lead in the series 2-1, and now are on match point.
Yeah, Dr. tried to do everything he could in this situation, but it just wasn't quite enough. And I think Gen.G, their comp was a lot easier to play, a lot of engage tools, late engage, and they just were playing this one so much cleaner. I feel like we were wondering when Gen.G would show that level of form, we were wondering when they'd wake up. It feels like we've hit that point, game 3 in this series.
They definitely did. Says they don't know what losing is. I mean, they did lose game 1, but they've forgotten. So now they don't know again what losing is. And they don't lose best of 5s. They haven't for a very, very long time. You were saying it was LCK Cup?
LCK Cup Finals to Life Esports.
That was like, it feels like that was years ago. Obviously, it's just earlier this year, but it's a long time.
I guess maybe the thought process is you land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and both, you just send the Nocturne and the Ziggs in on the target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw stuff at people.
It's a bit of a weird one. They do have a lot of poke. There is ways in which they outrange enemy composition, but I feel like stepping up against a Blitzcrank going to be difficult. They do have obviously the spell shield from the Nautilus. Still not the Nautilus, from the Nocturne. On the side of Gen.G, their comp feels a lot more straightforward. The Kiana is kind of the wild card element of this composition. Really comes down to Canyon having a good game when he has had a bit of a rough series, so we'll see what he can do.
All roads lead to the Gen.G win. One of those signs says, hoping for a 5-gamer. I'm not sure if this one gets them across the line. They are playing the Ziggs, but I don't know. This looks like a comp that Gen.G could definitely win on. The Poppy Top comes out here for Keen. We'll see how he looks here to be out of the Rift for game number 4.
수환사에 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right. Game number 4, KT want to keep their hopes alive. There's the flash, and the hook comes out from the side of Duro. Peter walking towards them for a moment. Not scared of anything.
Yep, he does just walk it off there, doesn't have to be in his own flash. So pretty nice for the side of KT with a flash advantage in the bot lane. I do think it was cute that Gen.G did that little triple flex with the Poppy. I think the Kiana can have a lot of value. The first Kiana game we had, was it Ona who played it?
Wasn't it a DK player? Because Charvel was there, and they were like, yeah, just put in Charvel for the Kiana jungle thing, and then it was actually a Lucid who played it.
No, I can't actually remember. I should.
If it wasn't Lucid, it was Owner, because it was it was a jungler in that series who did play it.
I'm gonna check.
Ox is gonna take a little check.
I'm not gonna just falsify things, you know.
Yeah, you would never.
I would never just make things up.
Never. Especially about other casters on the team.
No, everything I say about Chronicler is the truth. I want you to know that. If I suddenly stop speaking and I get dragged away from the mic, it's Chronicler and he's trying to keep me down.
Makes sense, honestly. I mean, it's the kind of guy he is.
No,
right.
It was Lucid.
It was Lucid, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because Charvel was there, and he's like the guy from Challengers.
Right, yeah, it was that series though, okay.
Yeah.
But it was Lucid.
So we're not falsifying anything here.
Apologies for initially being incorrect.
Oh. All right, going in is perfect. Keen level 1.
Okay, good start.
Level 2 here. Could look for a hook, but yeah, well, it's going to be the other guy. Peter's going to get that one. The knockup comes in onto Peter from Duro.
Yeah, Duro's grab was actually on cooldown there. It just came up, so wasn't as... It looked like he was posturing very aggressively, like he's going to grab. It was actually just came up after that trade, so he kind of set himself up to be punished. But yeah, not too much action happening so far. I'm interested to see how BDD can do on the Zoe. We haven't seen the Zoe for a while.
He is one of the guys.
He is one of the guys, yeah.
He is one of the Zoe guys. Here at the LCK, who used to play it a lot. It was during that time where Zoe was actually really good. Oh, nice. Gonna take down that minion and follow up with the grab immediately after.
Yeah, we'll get the barrier from Ruler and a decent trade onto him. And he's actually just backing away to recall?
Just leave.
Okay. You know also, the thing I find the most annoying about Kiana is she can just dash all the time and be invisible all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not permanent.
You get enough ability haste, might as well be.
BDD has played 55 games of Zoe. That's just an incredible amount. Trade of flashes here for Peter is actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Chovy, you kind of react to it immediately. It comes in, but I don't know how much he needed a flash there. Like, I'm not sure BDD could have 100%.
What about the lollipop, though?
No, he would have hit if he hadn't flashed, but I don't think he would have died. But I guess it's one of those situations where in the moment, the Nautilus flash hooks, you just flash. And that's our job as casters. We do the hindsighting, you know?
Yeah.
But either way, Peter's going to be happy. He sees that as a success. He trades his flash. He has Hex flash. He's fine with that. And Chovy now going to be a bit more vulnerable. Not sure we'll get a punish, though, for the Nocturne and get 6. But we know now, when does he need to be careful? When it's about 30 seconds away from being...
Yeah. Got to be very careful there, Chovy.
That's when everyone ganks, as we've learned.
Yeah. It's a good time to gank. I remember when Zoe was giga OP, and it's probably a lot of the games, actually, that BDD has under his belt was during that time. He's going to save the smite for Chovy and takes a good trade. Victor doesn't have a very fun time into Zoe. We're going to see the hook here as here comes Peter going in. Going to land his dredge line in onto Duro. But just a trade at the end of the day.
Yep. And he just keeping the pressure up in the mid lane. Chovy on the back foot here. It's just not, you know, I think it's the items. I think she's just one of those champions that are annoying because of that damage.
Yeah.
But also just the items. Do you remember when she just used to get, like, was it Redemption? She used to get...
Yeah. All right, little gank here from Canyon. Perfect, in a bit of trouble. Gonna land the walk stun.
Yeah, I think
just gets out with
that
the
was the right call, because the execute damage on the Kiana is pretty high. Oh.
We got Cuz coming in. Cuz is level 5. All right, gonna just flash the dredge line just to be careful. Duro gets satcheled back.
You gotta watch out for the tower. But they get a flash from Ruler, so pretty big pickup, and Ruler is recalling again. Gonna back away from this one. And it looks like now they're gonna go for the swap, him going up towards the top side. Oh, this might mean Dr. gets some plate time?
Plate time?
Hitting towers?
That's Ziggs' favorite time.
He got the Lost Chapter back, which is pretty big. Oh no. His jungler's like, help with Dragon. He's like, oh, but the plates.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Duckdown needed to be here. They have so much pressure in mid, and as we know, Canyon is nowhere to be found, so... again, hindsighting. Definitely did not need to be there, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's a little sad. I'm sure he'll get a chance to hit some plates later.
Yeah. No playtime for Ziggs. Not yet. Early Ocean Drake again. We've had a bunch of these. Could try to gank top, but...
We have level 6 on the Nocturne. We've had so many games, I feel like, where the Nocturne's gotten like an early kill, early assist, or several. And it's been like, he's gotten the ultimate hunter stacks, he gets his Hex plate, and his ult's like a 60-second cooldown in no time at all. Okay, maybe not that low, but... Not having that in this one, so I feel like it puts so much weight on the first ult to get some kills, or at least a kill. So we'll see what Cuz can do with that. Right now, we kind of have Peter moving around the top side, trying to set some support up for his team. It's given the confidence for Perfect to push up and push his wave in. And Doctam's just chilling alone on the Ziggs. He's vibing. Just doing Ziggs things.
Yeah.
Keen has gone the tier on the Poppy. Presumably going for...
Wintering, Fimble,
Winter's
Lee.
Approach, Fimble Winter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can proc it pretty often, and it does give, like, kind of crazy... the shield value over the course of a fight is pretty high.
And any amount of shielding, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. Although the Renekton is going to enjoy that.
I mean, it could also just be a tier buy early that you sit on. I guess we'll find out.
Our players here at the LCK do not do that.
Yeah, true.
It's not
Actually,
a thing
maybe it's
we
like
do.
the the Iceborne Gauntlet with the tier, and that helps you proc the the Winter's Approach. The Fimble Winter helps you proc it because you get the slow on the auto. Oh god, I think Doctam would have been in trouble, but he ults the wave.
Yeah.
And he does scout out Canyon with the minefield. And so in return, KT, they got that Fierce Dragon, the Ocean Dragon as well. A nice one to pick up early. They'll get the grubs too, so it's a pretty nice early start.
Yeah. It's a quiet one, but it's one where KT aren't falling massively behind, so that's going to be a good look for them.
Yeah, we have seen Perfect fall a little bit behind in terms of the farm department. How did he know?
Oh, he's not here, I guess.
He was just checking the brush.
Yeah.
Beating now with heal in pocket. Yeah, fun champ.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Zoe, you don't really have to interact with Victor. He tries to laser you, you're out of range. And then if you land a bubble, he can't do anything except put down a stun field and
hope.
Maybe he gets a trade at the end, but if the Zoe plays it well, you don't. So you just kind of sit there and take a bunch of damage. You can clear waves at least as Victor.
We did get his flash back up though. You know, we were talking about that window of the punishment just before the flash is coming up. Seems like Chovy did play safe around that. The punish didn't come in, and it's been pretty slow, measured game. Both teams not really going super aggressive.
Yeah.
And this does feel like it's a very feast or famine game. You know, one team has a Kiana, which that champ is the most... Honestly, I've seen so many games that champion is just completely useless or just kills everyone instantly.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Zoe, Nocturne, definitely champions where if you fall behind, borderline useless. If you're ahead, so annoying to deal with.
Yeah. You get the Wolf turret mid. Zoe tier 1. You begin to snowball really heavily, very quickly on the Zoe. If you lose your turret, well, you're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
You can't look for picks. You don't have vision. You just kind of sit there, clear waves, but you're not even as good as other champs, other control mages at clearing waves. You're still pretty good, but
the problem is it's just like you have to kind of ult in to clear the wave, and then you can just get like lasered or hit by ruler and chunked. It feels pretty bad. Propane Hydra for Canyon. Spooky item. It just makes me think of Aatrox, you know, when he had that build and was just one-shotting.
That wasn't very fair, that build. I'm glad that's gone.
Is Aatrox ever fair? There's so many builds where it's just not okay.
Peter just hiding on bush, seeing what he can see. He is going to get hooked, though, and now Canyon's here, and the flash in front of the dredge line as Canyon gets in range. This Nocturne is coming in, a ton of damage coming out from Ducktop. Peter does go down, but the trade might just go over to KT as they take down Canyon. They're looking for Duro. And here comes Chovy just to push them away, but BDD has flashed himself and can just flash over, and eventually Duro will die. And the kill also goes over to BDD, who is now 2-0 on the Zoe.
Nice cleanup there. I feel like Gen.G commit heavily for the pick onto the support. So much resources poured into killing Peter. And as a result, the turnaround pretty swift from the side of KT. Also Ziggs with 3 grubs. Getting a lot of value. Here, Peter didn't go for the dredge line cancel. I think maybe, well, he didn't have vision at the time. And then the block from Duro. Then they also commit the flash ult from the Kiana. And he just lives a bit too long.
It's Nautilus.
Yeah. And then Canyon has already just lost all his health here. Cuz chases after Duro, and BDD has flash. Like, Chovy puts the ground. Oh,
Chovy in a lot of trouble here. We got the Storm down, but red buff even ticking as there's the empowered auto from BDD, who is now 3-0 and 1,000 gold ahead.
He's 3-0. Cuz has Hexplate and 2 kills for the Ultima Hunter, so his ult cooldown is significantly dropped. You know, these comps, there was elements of them that were Feast or Famine.
All right, trying to do something here.
Just walk it out, yeah. I feel like KT, the 2 people you wanted to get ahead, BDD now has a big gold lead, and Cuz, he gets his first item and those Ultima Hunter stacks, he's so strong.
Yeah, he really is. Fear comes in. Well, Cannon just pushes them away.
Oh,
that's the wall. And they really want to kill Peter a lot. The ult is not going to hit, and so Peter just going to dredge line into the further wall. Not a very difficult one to miss.
Yeah.
Or to hit, rather.
You know, Kiana is one of these champions. Oh, Peter just tried to portal. He tried to hex gate with the blue buff on him.
Yeah.
Kiana is one of these champions that, like, you see some people on this pick, and it just looks like they do more damage. They just look so mechanically proficient. It's insane. Canyon not showing that yet. The sleep lands. Oh, so much burst damage. He's just kiting the storm.
Yeah, nice to see the farming afterwards. But yeah, he's just calling the whole play the whole way through as he hits the sleep.
As soon as he hits the sleep, that play is just achieved. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
And now they're in such a strong position going forwards. You know, 2 dragons in pockets, a Hextech Soul as well. They have the 3 grubs. Plates do go down. Let's see how many the Ziggs actually got off the bot lane. But even so,
he got like 3? No, 2.
For gold from 2.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but you know, they did kind of just leave the Ziggs alone and play through the rest of the map. Level 11 now on BDD, and he is so strong. 6 stacks on the Dark Seal as well.
And a needlessly large rod.
And I'm just saying,
next.
This draft, the triple flex of the Poppy, and given the Canada Canyon, I am yet to be impressed. And Canyon is obviously, we've seen him play so many picks through his career. At times, he's played very mechanically intensive picks. We know what he can be capable of. He needs to show up. You know, you can't have last pick Kiana and come in and be missing ults on a Nautilus who just is walking in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely one where everybody saw it and everybody would just said oof collectively.
Yeah.
You know, it's just very obvious. I'm sure Canyon feels pretty bad about it, but hopefully he can turn it around because they need him. Absolutely need him in this game. He's going to be one of the answers to the Zoe. If they can close the distance, it will be the Kiana.
Yep. Honestly, he's one of the major threats onto the back line that they kind of need. Otherwise, you're just going to get poked out from a distance.
Yeah.
Gen.G trying to set up in the Herald. It's risky, though. If you get onto the Herald, it kind of sets up in a position where BDD can just fire poke at you if you start hitting it. You know, he's in a prime spot here.
There it is. Bubble is going to come down, and now Chovy, oh, he's just barely going to avoid that, as now the turn comes in onto the Ziggs. Duckdom in a bit of trouble. He's trying to satchel away. The ult is going to miss from the Poppy, as now Keen is in a whole lot of trouble. You see that damage coming out from the Poppy, and Gen.G just have to get away. The damage from the Zoe, rather, as BDD picks up more stacks, and Duckdom lives as well.
Yeah, Duckdom able to move in and clear the wave. Oh!
Yeah,
that's a lot of... Oh, it lands!
Uh-oh. There's a lot of trouble here for Chovy, and he goes as the giant bomb from the Ziggs on top of the Zoe damage is just too much to deal with, although nobody's dying. Everybody actually lives on the side of Gen.G.
So low. Canyon blocking the damage there. Looked like it was going to backfire massively, but in the end, able to save Chovy in that situation, just about. Not quite having the damage to finish him off, not quite having the damage to finish Canyon. It's so spooky, it's so scary.
Yeah.
This is not a fun game to play. These bubbles land and it's so dangerous. And here, Keen finds the Ziggs, but the follow-up's not there immediately. It's a great satchel away. And Duckdom able to disengage from the situation, puts the damage back on the Poppy, just gets deleted. And then Gen.G in this uncomfortable spot. And here, BDD gets so much damage. The thing is, because his ult's always going to go back, he's not under threat. if they commit anything, he just goes back. This bubble is beautiful. Unfortunately here, it doesn't quite hit the Q onto Canyon.
Yeah.
Fortunate, and a lot of flashes burn to get out of that.
Oh, hook here on a Canyon. Sleepy Trouble bubble on top of it. We got Canyon in a ton of trouble, as it's not going to hit once again. BDD pulling these short just barely a couple of times. And to be fair, I mean, he was very far away, but if that lands, maybe Canyon just dies. The amount of damage that he has now as they're going to pull the trigger here on a Chovy. He doesn't have his flash, but Perfect does. Goes in with the stun and takes him out. Canyon not going to hit it again.
I think that was spell shielded actually from Cuz.
Yeah.
So pretty nice there. Able to pick up Chovy. And now looking towards his dragon. Oh my, the poke!
You wanted banana brush control.
There you go.
What you got is mines and a bubble.
This Poppy is also going to Bruiser build, not that tanky. You can see quite clearly. Third dragon for KT. If they get Hextech Soul, you cannot play Hextech Soul into this comp that KT has when they have Hextech Soul.
Yeah.
Like, you're already struggling to get on top of them. They have so much poke. They're so able to prod the enemy team. And now they have that in pocket. It is so massive. Yeah, so here, I mean, goes for the laser, immediately gets punished. Flash from Perfect's great. And then I think it's here, yeah. Spell shield's just on the back end of it. I mean, honestly, you probably could have just walked out of it anyway, but it's about sending the message.
About saying you knew and that you predicted it.
Yeah.
Or that you reacted to it.
I'm going to be honest, the Kiana has felt pretty useless. The Bruiser Poppy, not really hitting the mark. Victor getting bullied out by BDD's Zoe. Ruler's trying his best. And Duro, I think, is... I don't think Duro's done anything wrong, really.
Yeah, they're just not really in a position to utilize the Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
There's so many of these fights where it's like, you know, somebody gets caught and he can't land a hook and turn the fight around, so you just kind of have this Blitzcrank sitting around.
BDD and Doctam's inventories.
Yeah.
Like, they are both about to hit the same spike.
But one of them has a 7-stack Dark Seal.
Yeah, I mean, of course, BDD is more fed. But, like, once they both hit the Shadow Flame, they're both going to upgrade to Tier 3 boots, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be in time for Soul Fight, or maybe Sadakan, right? And they're going to be so strong. It's very spooky. It's very spooky for Gen.G. And it's not even October yet.
It's pretty close, though.
It is getting pretty close.
We are almost halfway through September.
But it isn't spooky season yet. I will say the supermarkets in the UK, they would, you know, Easter would be done and they'd have Halloween decorations out. I'm like, chill out, please.
Yeah. Got to move on to the next holiday so people can spend more money on it.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you get as much as possible. So yeah, sitting on Hextech Soul Point with your 2 carries about to hit the giant spike. What does Gen.G have to do here?
I think you need picks. I think you need to find isolate members and explode them. It's hard because you're into a Nocturne who can be there so quickly, but you need to find targets who are alone and isolate and just burst them, explode them, pop them before they can really get a chance to set up. It's important that you still have your mid-tier 1, so that can be a point of strength you can play around. But one thing that can happen is if you blow up one target quickly and it's a high-value target, and then Nocturne comes in, he ults in to save, it's kind of like a TP, right? You can't cancel it, and sometimes you end up going into a situation where you don't want to be there. You committed the ult, and you're like, oh no, I no longer want to commit to this.
Yeah.
So they say catch a grab onto Doctam, and then Cuz ults in, you kill him too. That could turn this game around, because even though everything's stacked in favor of KT, they're still pretty far. The gold lead isn't that big. And also, somehow, Gen.G is 20 petals to 3 again. How?
They're making a statement. It's only Peter the Pedal Peddler that's getting the pedals.
Yeah, Peter the Pedal Peddler is the only one allowed to take pedals, apparently. The rest of them just don't believe in it.
They say they don't have the time.
They
honestly, you always have the time if you make time.
They need to hire, like, a florist who just, for KT, who just comes in and just tells them the importance of pedals. Yeah. To pedal the pedals to them, because...
Pedal the pedal to the pedal peddler?
Yes.
Peter?
This is kind of unreal. Like, because they've had control in this game. It's very clear that they're just not hitting them.
They just don't want them.
I don't get it, because it's like...
They're making a statement.
Like, I'd understand if they made like a really annoying noise when you hit them, but they don't. Maybe they need to give it so whenever you hit the pedal, it makes the heartsteel noise.
Oh, yeah.
Then KT would...
They need a good noise for that.
Just makes the hearts... Oh my god. You could take the stats away, give them the heartsteel noise, and I'd just be hitting them all day.
Yeah.
To be fair, even if without the noise, I'm just...
You're still hitting them.
Yeah. There's something about them, you know?
You mentioned upgraded boots. Duckdom just got the upgraded boots.
Oh yeah, this is the moment. This is the big spike.
We've been waiting around for this.
BDD hasn't got his yet, but this is like a super... We do have the spike coming in from Ruler, though. He's gotten his upgraded mirror mana, so he's pretty strong. But Duckdom and BDD, if BDD can get a recall now and get his upgraded boots, he also has TP. This is like both your carries are spiking super hard. And if you set up the poke here around this Hextech Soul, you can just take over. Get the vision. The vision's really important. Yep, there are those upgraded boots. So KT playing those spikes really well. Didn't buy a control ward. I'm going to assume he didn't have enough money. I hope coaches, you know, in the coaching booth like, oh man. But they're going to control the area, and this makes it so hard to approach. No one is really tanky enough to face check a bubble into the poke.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to use the Herald to try and force their way in.
I mean, that's one way to do it, but again, it feels very forced as now the bubble's going to hit Ruler. He's miles away from the fight.
I think Duckdom should have ulted him. I think if he ulted him, he's just out the fight completely.
Yeah, well, maybe they're going to use the Poppy. Oh, no, it's going to miss. And the Spell Shield was there, just in case. And it looks like we're just going to get a flip here as the engage goes in on the Keen. I think you got to look at that Drake, though. Don't want to give this up for free, cuz it's not going to get the smite. And Gen.G just get the Drake and might just be able to get out. They're spending all this time killing Keen. And it looks like they will get him. Ruler and Duro considering it, but Gen.G, they're going to buy some time. They take the Drake away.
Yeah, so Drake for Gen.G is a big pickup. It's worth for that one trade. It's what can KT get after? Oh,
he doesn't miss. BDD is just on a tear right now. Dredgeline going to hit Canyon.
Yeah, KT can force him off and get this mid lane tower. So a big pickup here. Oh! That beach ball.
It's so spooky.
So I still think, even though it's not like a win for Gen.G in terms of like they lost a kill, they lost a tower, denying the dragon is massive. I think the game might just be over if you lose the Hextech Soul. So I think they can be happy to some degree with how this panned out. And KT put a lot of focus into Keen. Keen soaking the pressure. Cuz doesn't manage to get the smite. And then he just goes, you know what, we'll just take the Poppy kill. Moves over there, takes that. And then their position here, they have control of this side of the map, around the center, around mid, and they're able to zone them away very effectively with their composition. I will say, though, considering how much KT was spiking in terms of items, the fact that Gen.G managed to get that specific dragon is very big, because that was definitely a point I was extremely worried about how a 5v5 would go.
Just felt like if KT were a little bit more aggressive down the river, like could have at least poked them out.
It's difficult with their composition because you're playing around like poke and you're playing around like the Sleepy Trouble bubble. So if one is hit, if one misses or you use it and it's on cooldown, you can't just run at the enemy team. It's not like Gen.G's comp last game where you just run at the enemy team when you're strong.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So I think they had to some degree give up some space, which obviously let Gen.G get in. Now though, Gen.G is setting up around Atakan. This is a dangerous game to... Oh, the double blue trinket though. Yeah. Was that double? Or was that... They only have one.
I think it was just one.
Okay, it looked like two for some reason.
Yeah. Trying to look for the hook. Not going to hit it.
A little spooky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spookiness all around.
You don't need to get baited by the Atakan either.
Yeah, just poke them out.
Yeah, just land some poke. But I think, honestly, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble into Zig's ult combo at this point, I don't think... It's not one-shot level, but it's enough to send someone home.
Yeah.
Send them to the base.
And Ruler doesn't have TP. Yes, there are Hex Gates, but maybe...
Although you have the Nocturne as well, so maybe Sleepy Trouble Bubble into Mega Infinity into Nocturnal.
That is the idea.
But you're probably just killing the Nocturne if you send them into like 5 people just to finish off a low HP target. So I don't think it's needed.
But if it were Ruler in mid lane, alone...
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Or they're TPing Peter back in to keep up the pressure. Okay. Canyon is just able to kind of sit in this brush and spam invisibility and be annoying.
Yeah.
He is also level 15. He has farmed pretty effectively this game.
That's pretty much all he's been doing. As Trevi's top.
They want to force a TP. This is a dangerous spot to be in against the Kiana, though.
Yeah, I gotta be careful to get the TP and they back. They know they're ahead, but they know that one fight could turn it.
Yeah, and you don't want to get Kiana ulted there again. Oh man, especially with a shred from the Anakin, you just get decimated.
Yeah.
Oh, Cuz did go for recall, picks up the Sterak's. So it's kind of this, you have the Hex Gates which get you back quicker, but we kind of have this delicate position where both teams are like trying to recall, trying to get back, keeping up the pressure. Anakin not want to give anything up. If you want to push a wave in a different lane, it's like you have limited time windows to do it. It's a minute till Dragon though, and I think that's why both teams have kind of gone, okay, we need to go recall. We have had more items come in, but it's not like full items, just components. So no one's really hitting a big major spike after the spikes we had from the last Dragon. And I do think part of a factor of that is we've been sharing waves. Everyone's been so focused on this Anakin, they haven't actually been farming as efficiently. And so we haven't had people completing or just getting as much gold as before. Oh.
All right.
Okay. It was just on the Keen, so...
Yeah, he can. Just, oh, they're not coming to the hook! And Duro just sits him down, says take a seat, although the damage is coming out from the Ziggs. And they're trying to push into this one. The Victor, though, is totally safe, and a ton of damage is coming out from Ruler at the same time. The poke, though, is going to get Duro down. Keen's perfect around him. Oh! He's just walking over mines and getting hit by bombs. And that is not what you want to see if you're a Gen.G fan. Ruler, though, trying to frontline here. And is doing a ton of damage. Keen as well. Super low, has to walk away.
Doctam saving the play there. Oh! Close.
The Dragon's up.
Yeah, because they're still alive. Canyo's not up for a while. They can get Soul here. They're going to get back on the map quickly. It's Hex Gates as well. This was huge from Duro, but it ends up backfiring. He flashes to get the play, gets the Zoe, but they chase into the Ziggs. And the mine value is so huge here. Doctam just placing down these minefields as they're kiting backwards.
This one
one here. It does so much damage. Chovy walks into like all of them. Look how low he is.
Yeah.
And he gets hit by a bouncing bomb into the Comet. Oh, it's massive. And that secures them soul. Doctam's such a hero. And now looking at Anakin as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he minefields, he just did it. Minefields that choke there. You just can't approach. Okay, they back away. I think it's the right call. You don't need to rush into this. You have Hextech Soul.
And if they try to do it, you can just poke them down, essentially. You see Canyon gets hit by one thing.
Oh, and with the Hextech Soul as well, once you get hit, you get clipped by illusions, everyone's slowed in the whole team.
Yeah. Then
the bouncing bomb hits. It's so frustrating to play into. And now they're considering looking for this. They have chunked them out and forced them away. Clear the vision out.
Yeah. I mean, you can move in, you can clear vision. If you do commit, though, you just got to play it carefully once again. As they know this is happening, Ward is nearby. Canyon is going to walk up through the bottom lane. And that has been the angle of attack. That bubble's going to hit Duro, going to delay him, but still, the respect shown by KT.
They know they have the soul for the rest of the game, so they just don't need to do anything crazy. And it's, you know, Gen.G can't just rush Anakin into this composition, so they're trying to set up in a position where they can do it, but again, their composition isn't the best for just raw brawling, so they don't want to get stuck on the objective and bait them in. But a big spike coming in, Void Staff completed there for Doctam. I think BDD's approaching his third item as well. That's a lot of damage. Ziggs does do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And a lot of just damage that's sitting on the ground that he doesn't need to be casting for if you lay down the mines and everybody starts walking over them. It was so funny that Chovy like walked back through the mines, like he tried to like get all of them, like tried to collect them all.
You know what's funny is that Chovy, when he played Ziggs, he maxed W second, right? Yeah. He didn't max E second. Maybe he's just not used to Ziggs mines doing so much damage. You know?
Calling him out.
They do a lot of damage when you max them, right? Doctam, he's got that. He maxed that E second. He did the big damage with the mines, you know.
Yeah. Team blue buff over here.
So has to be respected. It's not a huge goal lead, but there's so many things stacked in favor. The only thing not stacked in favor really is the pedals. 21-3 still. It does mean if you get the Anakin though, it's very significant because pedals are worth more the less you have.
Yeah.
So it would give
Uh-oh.
They have to zigzag,
Ruler.
zigzag.
Zigzag over the top. There's the Nocturne. That's the combo. They don't get the kill, though. Ruler going to live, and BDD says, I'll get the kill. Don't you worry. As he's going on in, they keep him around with the bubble. As everybody doesn't get to play the game, they're just running away, tail tucked. And there's nothing they can do. As now they've got an opportunity to go for that Otacon.
Their jungler is down, but Cuz is up a good amount sooner than Canyon is.
Looking for it again. BDD playing with fire. He's got that flash. As now the damage comes in. Toby steps up and dies. Toby, no. 0 and 4 on the Victor. And KT, now they'll take this Otacon.
That's going to be enough for it. Take out the mid laner as well. I love Cuz just flying in, sacrifices himself for the kill, but the cleanup's there. The artillery cannon's firing, backing up the Nocturne. And Gen.G just don't really have a response to these long-range picks. So the Sleepy Trouble bubble hits.
No flash,
there.
no flash.
After the ult, he almost gets one shot. He does just survive, but then Fierce is there. The second bubble comes through.
Keep going.
Oh, and he finds it again.
Let's look for one more.
And then here, Chovy cancels the back. They look for him with the hook, but then he has that flash in pocket.
This is not fine.
Yeah. Look at that damage from the Ziggs.
His score. He's losing his mind. They might be sending Gen.G to a game 5 if they win this.
And remember, if they win this, then it is one last game for Worlds qualification.
That's insane.
They are in such a good position on this one. They got the Otacon, they put them up to 13 petals. It's a lot of XP. Obviously, the less you have, the more it's worth. Docdom is now level 17, by the way. He is the highest level in the game. He's only slightly behind Perfect on XP. The Ziggs is pumping damage at the moment. And I'm going to be real, the Kiana's been pretty much invisible. The Bruiser Poppy has kind of been whatever. Chovy's been struggling, he's been outranged. Ruler is kind of the only real threat, and he's got no sums.
Yeah.
They don't have the Mikhails as well for the Sleepy Trouble bubble, so if he gets hit by a sleep, he's just kind of cooked, as we saw there.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like not just Duro, but the team themselves are so far behind that they're just lacking significant item breakpoints like that Mikhails. And just for, a couple more items for the Victor could be enough to potentially fight back in some of these poke wars, but
it's just the range.
Getting outranged.
Yeah, it's so hard to deal with the range. If you're ahead, it's a different story because you can move forward, you can threaten hooks, you can control areas. When you're behind and the enemy team has a Hextech Soul, you can't even walk up, really, in this situation. And the fact that your Kiana, this Feast of Famine pick, is so far, I mean, not even behind in goal, but just not relevant. Yeah. You need to be ahead of the curve with this pick. And I can't even remember a single play Canyon's made this game that has felt impactful.
It just hasn't been one.
It just hasn't hit.
He had a couple opportunities earlier, but after all the Drakes went over essentially for free, there wasn't much they could do. We got Elder spawning right now, and they still can't really approach. I mean, they're trying to push mid as a team.
The thing is, you can't trade Elder for Baron. We've seen that obviously backfire before into a Zig Zoe. They can siege without Baron. You give them Elder, they'll just take your base. They have gotten control of the river pretty well. Yeah. This is good for Gen.G, but they have to try and stop KT pushing in. The Gravity Field will do a decent job. They're starting the objective.
They're just going to start it up and just hope for a flip. And if they get it, maybe they can win it. I mean, Gen.G, they're not out of it just yet. The poke is coming in. As now the Paranoia, and the massive bomb onto 5! As the damage is there, Toby is dead, but Ruler is still alive. The hook on the Perfect might just be enough as he goes into GA. Ruler's still alive, gonna take out the Nautilus. As BDD and Duckdom, they're kind of flying alone here. Perfect, pretty low.
Canyon's still up is the big thing. They need to get the Dragon to reset because he's got a smite.
Ruler, he's just desperately asking for one auto.
Oh, Perfect found Canyon.
Perfect did find Canyon. As now where did the Blitz go? Where did the Corki go? They're both dead to the Zoe and the Ziggs.
BDD Zoe brings it out on match point for Gen.G, and he brings out the classic to win the game. Now, Canyon's coming down with Smite. This is risky if you can get there in time, because he's up in 10 though, and he has ult as well.
They have so much vision. Well, at least in the banana rush. They have
This is make or break.
down here.
This is make or break for Canyon.
Oh, he's spotted. And now they can just wait. TP coming in from Chovy.
Wait, Cuz is going to gate in and then he can ult. He can just ult.
Yeah, he can just ult. Poke coming in. They're trying to burst it down. Is Canyon going to land an ult? And now it just goes to Smite. As in goes Cuz. He takes the Elder. And that should be it. KT going to be forcing a game 5 here against Gen.G tonight.
What an absolute masterclass on this pick. BDD dominating on the Zoe up against Chovy as well. KT taking this to game 5, trying to look to qualify for Worlds. Gen.G looked undefeatable. The last time they lost in a best of 5 was the LCK Cup. And now they're being taken to 5 games by KT.
Taking to 5 games in this manner, they definitely would not have expected it, as BDD is going to get hooked in. Do they have the damage? They're all tanking the turrets and stuff. I think only Ruler against Elder buff is not going to be enough, though, as he is going to take out one. Cuz is pretty low, but they just turn onto him, and that's going to be enough. 38 minutes in, Elder too strong as they close it out and bring us to Silver Scrapes.
I mean, it was just such a performance from BDD on this Zoe in particular. The amount of bubbles he was landing, the amount of pressure he had. Duro tried multiple times flashing to punish him and it just wasn't enough. And the team, I feel like, set him up well. You know, Doctam on the Ziggs, there was that one fight where BDD died and Doctam was just kiting and putting the mines down. Gen.G, we said in game 3, it looked like they were back in form, and yet we're going to game 5. After this performance, look at the damage head. Like, Lissandra went behind. I know she obviously still has a CC, but she's going to fall flat. We've seen Callisto went behind, fall flat. TF Lee Sin. This game feels, you know, compared to the game 1 where we had like the smolder and it was like you have the late game insurance, this game does not feel very late game insurance. This game feels like...
You have like Ezreal
this was
for
all,
late game?
This was just...
That's about it.
You know, we dealt the cards, we went all in. Now we got to see where the cards lie because we're committed.
Cross out the 0, cross out the 1. Surely it's a 3-2. Surely it's a 3-2. Well, it will be a 3-2. The question is, which team will remain on top at the end of the day?
I'm going to say Mikhail's huge value. Cleanse, huge value here.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Gen.G's comp a little bit more. But that Wukong for Cuz, I think he can do so much work. It's going to be really, really fun. Let's hop onto the Rift for game 5. All right, here we go. Game number 5. Silver Scrapes. KT wins this. They're in Worlds. We have KT at Worlds. We had to have, you know, someone who was going to have a chance to make it to Worlds that wasn't Gen.G T1 and Hama Life Esports. We didn't really know who it was going to be, but I think that KT was the most likely as our 4th place team in the regular season.
And it's also the fact that, you know, if KT don't win this, they're then fighting with 2 other teams for that last spot.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially with how the bracket works, they'll be fighting with one other team who comes to face them, but... You know, it just still feels tense. They've definitely done the work to earn that spot today. Gen.G obviously already have the spot. KT have shown that they, in my opinion, deserve to be there, but they have to do the final step to get that spot. If they don't get it today, there's another chance, obviously, but it would be a huge statement to take down Gen.G and earn your spot that way. And obviously, Ruler here has Cleanse. They have Spellbook on Chovy, so he can go Cleanse. They have Spellbook and Duro. I imagine Duro will rush Mikhail's here. And not Redemption. We'll see, though. Redemption's been obviously super hype, but the Cleanse value here is pretty insane in this game. Yeah. And as I said, this game, very snowbally, very Feast of Famine. And I think what you said before about Gen.G's composition, I think if we'd come into this game without any of the context of the day, I would 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
And I really think a big part of it is that Wukong in Cuz's hands with how the jungle matchup has been going. And also, I'm interested to see what this Lissandra can do, because Lissandra into TF, you have so much ability just to get on top of him, ult him, set up for plays with the rest of the team. And there's a lot less agency for Gen.G. Like, if they want to make a play, it's a lot about the stun card. It's a lot about landing a Sonic Wave. KT can start a fight in so many ways.
Yeah. For me, I feel like Ruler on Kalista, especially with Granada Glass, cannot be underestimated in terms of the value that he can get. Like, yes, it can be difficult if you're getting in close range to Lissandra, Wukong, but I mean, there was a whole season we had where Ruler wasn't allowed to play this pick because it just got banned against him every single game when it wasn't even like that meta.
And also, Ezreal Maokai is, it's not the lane that you want into Kalista Renata. It's kind of one of these things that happens with Fearless, is that like, you're so focused on specific things coming through the draft that things just slip through. Like, I wasn't thinking of Kalista Renata.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure KT wasn't thinking of Kalista Renata, otherwise I'm certain they would have dealt with one of the elements of it. Maybe they were, and thought it was a risk they're willing to take. But either way, we've ended up in this situation where they're having to deal with it with a lane matchup that doesn't feel satisfying to play into it. And Canyon's leaning around this side of the map. It's so scary. We've seen so many times they go for the early dive on the back of the bailout. If this happens in this game, that could be game over at minute 4.
Yeah, I mean, he's hanging around. There's a ward here. And look at where Duckdom is. He's not next to the turret. He is way back there. He's going to drop, you know, 2 CS, give over a plate. But this is what you have to do in order to just not lose the lane super hard this early.
Yeah. He's missing a decent amount of CS, just getting pressured so much in this situation. It's already a lead for Ruler. Chovy has a gold lead thanks to
Horus. Against Zeka in LCK Spring 2024.
I think, wasn't that period where people were picking Lissandra into Ahri?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a thing for a little while. Oh, flash on in, but Cuz was already moving away, so Peter just going to use his flash and get the heal out of Duro, I suppose, at the end of the day.
Handshake was big there, because it meant Peter couldn't Bramble smash him backwards, and then he just walked him off. It's very spooky going for those ganks, because if you misplay it, honestly, the Kalista Renata can 2v3 if you really misplay it. And if it's a 3v3, yeah, I mean, it could just be doomed.
Yeah, nah.
You're playing the Ezreal as well, like, you have to hit the Mystic shots, especially into the Kalista, who's so mobile. It can be very hard to consistently hit. You miss a Mystic shot early, it's on cooldown for such a long time.
Canyon has played 70 games of Lee Sin. 7-0. He has a 72% win rate. Duckdom, the lane is pushing away from him, and his Maokai just went home. So you have one of 2 options. You can go home yourself and accept defeat, or you can try to go in and get 1 CS and then go home and accept defeat.
I think you recall and you go top, and you have your Yorick TP in and deal with the consequences. They're not doing that. They're TPing the Yorick back to top lane. Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least Perfect's doing well in the top lane matchup. He's got his...
Yeah, I mean,
Aiden.
They first pick Renekton for him in game 4. They're allowing him to keep a pretty good lane state against the Rumble here in game 5. Showing a lot of trust, or perhaps...
I mean, that was the thing. The thing is, in this situation, if you were really worried about Perfect, you would have banned Rumble. If you didn't trust Perfect, you would have banned Rumble. And they said, no, we think Perfect can handle the matchup, and we really want the Wukong. And that's what they did, and so far he's been doing pretty good into the Rumble as this Yorick.
Perfect didn't show that he felt very good about the situation, but, you know, it's never going to be an easy matchup for anyone.
He was just getting psyched up, you know?
Yeah, surely. Maybe.
He is now playing 1v2. Isn't a fun... Well, actually 2v2.
Yeah, he's got the maiden. What?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. He's trying to get some vision down in the river.
He is going into his jungle.
In the jungle, sorry, not the river, yeah. And it's now going to move back. He doesn't want to be there. I mean, he gets a TF as well.
And at least Sin.
It just feels bad, though, because, I mean, they're getting the dragon, but you're just losing so much here for free.
Yeah, Perfect just doesn't get to farm at all. No CS, no XP, nothing. He does get to look at Ruler and Duro a little bit.
Yeah.
That's about it.
This feels bad.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Keen is doing just fine. He was doing fine in the 1v2, which is why Peter comes up here. And his level up on Duckdom It's got Equalizer, but off cooldown. On cooldown. So not ready to go.
So now you have a situation where there's a massive lead in both top and bot because Perfect's been zoned away from so much farm, Ruler's been free farming, Dr. isn't having a fun time matching into the Rumble. And I just feel like KT doing this thing where they had an opportunity to swap and do it when, you know, they're leading the charge, and instead they're letting Gen.G swap on them and really being put in an unfortunate position.
Yeah.
Not working out too favorably.
And this is not the start to the game that was going to be a really hyped Silver Scrapes that I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it be a little closer. But Callista lanes, Callista Renata lanes especially, well, he has Unsealed Spellbook, are going to be very defeating for really any lane to go into, especially one in a Game 5 of Fearless. I mean, Ezreal Maokai, as you mentioned, is not really a lane. It's not a real lane. It's like, it doesn't do well into this at all.
It does not.
So you're just suffering.
You're having a bad time. And everyone has a lead across the board for Gen.G's a 2,000 gold lead. No kills yet. 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
And sure, some of that is just TF gold that's inflating it, but not all of it. So not the best start for KT. And they're definitely going to be looking into the skirmishes to bring some of that value back. But right now, Chovy has Cleanse available from Spellbook. He has his ult, so any fight you're taking, you have to go in with the prospect of, okay, what if Chovy joins? And then you're thinking, well, why don't we just target Chovy? Well, he has Cleanse. And your support and your mid laner both have very cleansable CC. Doesn't feel fantastic.
Yeah. Not a lot of agency. I think they're going to be relying on Cuz a lot to find the targets and lock people down for longer than, you know, half a second with those cleanses available. And then you've got Bailout and you've got Kiting from Ruler.
Yeah, I think just burning the cooldowns is really big. You know, I think if you go into a fight and cleanses are down, flashes are down, I think it gets a lot easier for KT. If you have this sort of passive game where not much happens and then you go into a fight, it's going to feel bad. So you see Keen getting some play time as well. Oh.
Yeah, some more for the team.
I don't think they needed more gold, you know?
But they'll take it.
They certainly will.
Say hell yeah, okay. Some extra free gold. Don't mind if I do. Little TP here. As look at that ward. Cuz level 7. He's trying to be a factor in this game. Instead, he's just on vision.
Yep. And Kanye just is like, you know, you guys are fine. You know he's there.
Yep.
It's so hard as well because Duro obviously has the safety of the Callista ult now. So there's just not, you can't even just threat, like Duro can walk up and play a little bit more aggressive because at worst, you're getting the Fate's Call. And you're committing engage to get the Fate's Call. So yeah. KT trying to find windows in and not really seeing anything yet. This is the sort of controlled win lane style we've often seen from Gen.G, just getting more gold from the map.
Just trying to take everything that they can and deny as much as possible. Hulk's gonna come out, that's going to secure the cannon. And here's Canyon, BDD not an easy target to gank himself. It's part of the reason why there hasn't been a lot of action. KT showing a lot of respect, and some of their lanes are just kind of ungankable. So, just kind of hanging around, waiting for some objectives to come through.
I've missed the Korean Lysandra as hell.
Have you now? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, it's been a while. A classic.
I think she needs a buff then. We can get her back every single game. Some reliable CC from the mid lanes.
I think they should make it louder.
All right, hiding on the back of the bush here is Cuz. Gonna get the flash out of Keen. So that's one summoner that they've taken down from Gen.G.
I think that's the buff they should do. They should make the yell louder, Brendan.
Maybe universal, global.
Yes. What was it? Because they had Shimo Laugh used to be global.
It was Amumu.
Was it Amumu?
Yeah.
Sick.
And then they took it away. Like, why?
Wasn't that one of the Carter skins? Like the Statue of Liberty one? Used to have like the global like taunt.
Something like that is, yep. Kind of difficult to gank Lysandra.
Just force the ult though and the flash, so they'll take that for sure. Especially, they want to look for this dragon. BDD doesn't have the tools, Cuz doesn't have his ult. I think this is pretty much a given.
Yeah. Gonna give it up. 12.5 minutes in. Even TP used by Chovy. So he's just going to get that one on cooldown and come back to the mid lane just fine. So we're trading Drake for Drake here. What is the soul going to be is the only question left. As... Nope. Hextech soul again. How about that?
Been a very Hextech-y game, day.
Yeah. Really has. I think this is the third one. We had a Cloud in the beginning. And also a Chemtech Soul, I think, was game 1.
Yeah, it was.
So Hextech here for game 5, once again.
And both teams are dragging a piece, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it kind of solidifies if one team does start to stack those up, gets a soul, he's kind of just a game winner. And yeah, the bot lane, it's already a pretty big lead, but it just hasn't really changed the dynamic of you don't get to touch the wave.
Well, they do, under the turret, that's about it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that was nifty, the arcane shift out of the handshake.
yeah.
Blocking the mystic shots to stop him hitting the minion. Yeah, very unfun.
He has a scepter, so. Little gank up to the top lane. Perfect says, I've got my own jungler here, as you should know. And a TP as well from BDD, who is threatening it, but not going to hit anything. And just all 6 members hanging out on the top lane, saying hello to each other.
Well, actually 7 if you include the maiden, so...
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
But this is happening, but it's actually kind of okay for Gen.G that nothing comes from it. Like, they lose Chovy's flash, but they're just maintaining the pressure in the bot lane constantly. It's pretty brutal. We do have Triforce coming in for Duck Dam, so he gets a spike, but I'm not sure it really changes the dynamic. If the Maokai just can't engage, he can't do anything. And it is the Mikhail's Rush from Duro. So he is not just a sort of redemption follower like most people are, built in any situation.
Yeah.
He's realized that the Mikhail's value is insane in this game. And now, it just, from this position where you're already ahead in this game, the main engage tools outside of the Wukong are like the Lissandra and the Maokai. You have a Mikhail's, you have a Cleanse on Ruler, you have a lead on Ruler. It's difficult. This is a difficult position for KT to be in.
Yeah. I am very curious to see how they're going to make it interesting in this game, because they've made this entire day very interesting. We had a bunch of 3-0 predictions, myself included. We had a lot of 3-1. That was the most common. And then 1-3-2. And it was all to Gen.G. Every single one. But KT has said no.
That didn't do that much damage.
Yeah, he shielded.
I expected more.
First turret, gonna go over with a Whimper in the bottom lane.
3,000 goldie now. They're going on to this Herald. Gen.G looking like they might contest it, though. The Herald probably...
Oh, a little bit late to the party. Canyon is gonna go in, get the kick down, and now they're looking to turn on a Chovy. Maiden zoning on the bottom side of the fight. So they get the Herald, and they're gonna get out. Once again, no action in this one just yet. 16 minutes in, keeping the tension high.
Yeah, so Herald secured. They managed to disengage from the situation as well. But it still just doesn't feel super positive for KT. Like, they picked that up, that's nice. But Duck Dam is just playing super scared around mid lane. And it still just feels like the tempo vibes are heavily in Gen.G's favor.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, there's... KT have tried a couple of things where, you know, they look for picks with Cuz. He tried bot one time, that was spotted on a ward. He tried top one time. Keen rather just flashed away. Has his flash back. And since then, it's just kind of been, okay, we're in a hole, and now we're just gonna kind of wallow in it because we can't do anything about it. So the lane is pushing into Keen. He's gonna leave it there. We got this objective coming up here in a minute or so. So for KT, they're going to feel, you know, a bit priced into going for some of these objectives. They can't give too many over because it is Hextech Soul. It is a very important soul that they will have to fight for eventually.
I think if you lose this fight, the game might just be cooked. But if you... I think this might be one you give up. You're not really at some huge spikes, but the problem is the team spike at similar times as well. So,
all right, well, we're probably going to beat some records for this year's LCK.
latest kill.
Yeah, latest first blood, 17 minutes, 46 seconds. We're about to cross that here.
And it comes down to KT. If they opt to contest this or give it up. It looks like they are moving into position. A lot of summoners available. Chovy's flash is down though. He has the heal. I think his flash might be available if he uses the heal though. It looks like they're moving in.
I mean, they're going to throw down Rift Herald, but there's too many sticks in this dragon, and it's just going to be smited by the Callista, essentially. The turn comes in. Ruler is getting pretty low. The follow-up with the Wukong is so much AoE damage. They get 2 kills, and the Thralls are going out, and the fight is hugely won by KT. They don't get the dragon, but they're going to pick up 4 kills in the play.
There's the engage. The flank comes in. The Hex Gate's there from BDD. They get on the back line, and it works. The Wukong value is massive because him and BDD smash Ruler into the dirt. And you know, so many summoners were available. Ruler's flash was up, Duro's flash was up, not used. A lot of these summoners just not used by Gen.G. It feels like they were caught unaware by the play. And that 3,000 gold lead demolished out of nowhere.
And guess who's got the massive gold lead once again? The Jungle Canyon has been present this entire series, but it hasn't been for Canyon.
It's a cuz diff. So we watch the situation again. All these summoners are available. This flank comes in from BDD. The Maokai ult just creates so much space. The Renata ult comes through, but doesn't really get any value. And this flank with the Wukong, and you also get the reset potential from the Lissandra. So this cluster, just so much value. Everyone funnels in. And it's so important for Gen.G's composition that they maintain distance, and any threats that approach, they lock them down. And they just couldn't do it. Cuz found access, BDD found access. And man, what a day for Cuz.
Yeah. It's been huge. It's been really awesome to see what he is capable of, you know? Also, this just totally changes the whole vibe of this one. I'm not sure about the tempo vibes. We'd have to check in with Atlas. But, like, KT proved to everyone that, hey, we can fight these guys. And now, once again, Ruler's just going to kind of face check, and Cuz is all over him once again. The bailout is there, and Ruler, nowhere for him to go. Canyon, super low himself. The kick is actually gigantic, but it's not enough. No follow-up there as Keen burning down Cuz. He gets incredibly low. He will be taken out, but the fight is still won by KT.
4 for 2 there. Cuz does go down, not able to survive that, but it's a huge teamfight win again for KT. Chovy's not even there, and KT are just demolishing them, finding Ruler again. KT want to go to Wilds. This is the game that would do it, and they're finding these fights again and again.
So what even happened here? They just kind of run past the wave and face check the brush.
Yeah, they're pushing in aggressively. They just face check. Cuz instantly slides in. Beautifully played. Flashes away so he can't get the reset with the bailout. And then the ult. BD saves the ult for Keen. Keen is still so much of a threat. Does kill Cuz, who's trying to get away. He ends up going, getting burnt down, but it's still such a big win for the side of KT. And again, they face checked that. Chovy wasn't in position to be there. The Destiny wasn't even available yet.
Yeah.
And
we panned to top. He had like 3 seconds on it. So
yeah.
It's just, that's not how you're going to win this game, Gen.G. It's not going to be the way.
And now, you know, we said these fights, these comps are back and forth. This situation where you got so much gold in the Wukong's such a threat. He's hit that 2-item spike, the Sundered Skies come in, he's so strong. Ruler is really struggling. He's down flat, he burnt Flash in that fight, so he's down that for a while. And also, here's the biggest takeaway. The last 2 games, KT just wasn't picking up pedals. They've got 7 pedals this game. Peter's been pedaling the pedals.
So many pedals.
So many pedals.
Pedaled. And they're looking for Chovy here. I mean, he's got Flash, Cleanse, and his TF. So, you know, he could potentially Destiny, could get some vision down. He's got his team here. He's totally fine. But look at the vision around the Otacon. KT planning ahead. This time, I believe, the first time on the top side of the map. Just didn't have a lot of action early on, and then it came on the top side of the map. So it will be up there.
I think another thing as well is in these clustered fights, Katie have a redemption, and I think it's the right call to go Mikhail. It's super valuable here, but as a result, Gen.G don't have a redemption yet. So you think how much value you get from that big AoE heal in those fights. And until Duro finishes that, they're kind of just absent that extra value. There's also KT, they have triple Triforce. They've kind of just been banking on that spike too. They're getting the 2 items. The Sundered Sky is massive for Cuz. The Manamune's fully stacked for Duckdam. I will say though, Chobi's just hit 3. The TF money printer has kind of come in. He is strong. The Rod of Ages is stacked, so...
He does need to be there.
Yeah, we have, KT have had 2 massive fights, but Gen.G are still very relevant in this game. And if they execute their win conditions in the fights correctly, they can definitely win this one. So there's still a lot to be said for this game. It's still very close. It's only 600 gold apart between these two. And Gen.G have the advantage in terms of dragons. And we are setting up for another one now.
Yeah, it's going to send it. I mean, they have Callista, and they have Renata for the hostile takeover in the choke. And they're just pulling it down, throwing as many autos into it for the Ren value as possible. TP's coming in, and now the Equalizer going to zone Cuz a little bit, but he's still in the pit. He's still got excellent value here, excellent position on this one, as in he goes, and Cuz will get the swipe. Canyon immediately dies. And he's just not in this fight anymore. Keen's super low, doesn't have the Zonias, and now the follow-up comes in from the rest of the team as they are just rolling over Gen.G. KT looking for the ace, and they will have it after the Drake.
There's that Wukong value. Cuz gets the smite, gets Canyon, gets the team fight. It's a 5-for-0 ace. KT crushed Gen.G in the fight. They get Dragon, they're looking for Atakan too, and they're looking to win this series.
They want to go to Worlds so bad. This fight was just all them the entire time.
They create so much space with the Maokai ult, and they just wait out the Equalizer. BDD goes in, they turn onto Canyon, and then BDD goes forward. We can buy so much time with the stasis. Then 2 members already down for Gen.G. Cuz pushes forward. Ult's ruler, he doesn't get to play the game.
Yeah.
Tries to get the reset, just fails there. But even if he got it, he was dead anyway. And Chobi just gets run down. The engage power. We went to game 5, so many engage picks were gone.
Oh, Duro. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not like this. He's okay, but he does have to flash and heal.
It was KT who said, forget the Rumble. We want the Wukong. We want the Maokai. And even picked up Lissandra, the BDD. They were like, we need the engage picks when, there weren't many available. And they're just making it work so well. And I think it's the angles as well that BDD is finding in these fights. Just working to great effect. And now, Chobi's ahead 50 gold, but it's a 506 Lissandra.
50 gold. Wow, he's really got huge stacks there.
Yeah,
I mean, this is...
I mean, look at Cuz, 417 on this Wukong.
And they have been the core for so long of this team, BDD and Cuz. And now they have 3 friends who can get it done with them. Yep. It finally feels like they've landed on something that works.
We saw this team get beat down in the Legend Group again and again and again and again. And by Gen.G just unable to match them. And now they are so close. But they still need to close the game out. It's 2 dragons apiece. They are down in some ways in terms of they don't have feats of strength. But they are up in gold for the first time in this game. And 2.5 minutes on the Hextech. Baron's up and available. If they can find another big fight, it probably would be enough to push them over the edge. And I feel like, we said it coming out of the draft, is that this game, these comps are pretty snowbally. And just haven't really seen Gen.G win a fight, win a 5v5. They had the lane pressure, but that's all they really had.
Yeah, none of the fights have really looked under their control. Like, you mentioned the space creation. I feel like the Lissandra Wukong is just unbeatable.
It's just, we've seen the Rise Group combo of the Wukong Annie be so effective. This just feels like a different flavor.
Rise Group knew it the entire way.
You just pick...
Legend Group just wasn't paying attention.
Pick like a CC heavy utility mid laner plus Wukong equals win.
Yeah.
It can't be beat.
Perfect now. A level and a half up. They're looking for BDD here. And
so hard to catch, though.
It's just Chovy. Like, Canyon's taking the Hex Gate. into the jungle. They're going to get the TP at a perfect, kind of an awkward spot for him. He's probably going to have to flash out of this one. Exhaust comes down. He's just going to hold on to it. He says, I'm dead. Nothing I can do. And, I mean, he's right for now. And now Gen.G up a man. They're looking at the Baron.
That was a big overstep from Perfect, TP'd into a bad spot, and now it needs to be a 4v5 for the Baron.
I mean, what are they going to do? They just got to try to send it and hope that Duckdom has enough damage to poke through everyone. Duro waiting with the hostile takeover, just waiting for the right moment, and there it goes. They get the engage onto that front line. Down goes Canyon. They don't have a smite right now. And no, down goes Cuz as well. The Baron goes to Gen.G, but BDD is doing so much work in the zoning there. The Thralls get the kill on a ruler, and Chovy just barely gets away. They hold onto the Baron, and Gen.G are still in this one with the Baron on Chovy.
Just about such a chaotic fight. Both junglers going down. It was Keen who got the Baron in the end. Managing to pull through on that one, and Chovy, the last man standing for Gen.G. It was nearly a reset for Ruler coming through. Ends up being a misplay here, so BDD isn't really caught because, I mean, he's on Lissandra, he manages to claw away, and then here the TP comes in, and I think he could have just used the portal, but ends up trying to run around. Yeah, makes a mistake here, and then gets just killed. And then KT moved to try and contest, and this ended up super hectic with how this one panned out. The Hex Gates, BDD's been using them fantastically to get in the pit here. They go in and create this absolute chaotic situation, but Cuz gets focused down immediately. And then it's Keen who ended up getting the Baron. And then here, this Zhonya's plus the Arcane Shift away from Duckdom to stop the Ruler reset was huge, but it's still Chovy with the Baron. Chovy, level 18. And it's 17-7 in favor of KT, but they are down 2,000 gold.
It's such a close game, and yes, the TF is going to skew those numbers, but this TF is very online. Yeah, basically full build. I mean, all he's got to do is finish the orb.
I will say, though, some of the items he has aren't as inspiring as, like, BDD. Like, BDD has, like, a Rabadons, you know, and, like, Chovy.
The classic damage builds.
Chovy has some, they're not as damage focused, you know. Like his stun card, he's not got like the one-shot stun card build or anything like that. He obviously is very mobile, very fast, and a lot of haste with the Cosmic Drive. But yeah, we did see Dragon get picked up, I believe, by Perfect there. So he was first back up because obviously he died first. So he picked up Hextech Dragon. So there, one away from Soul. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that anything that happened in that Baron passage play was a good thing, but KT did manage to at least get one away from Soul out of that, but they did put themselves in a precarious position. It's crazy that Ruler's 3-4-4, and Duckdom's 5-0-10, and Ruler's got a 1.68 gold lead. He is obviously very ahead in terms of farm, but those shutdowns came in pretty massively there. It is jungle that has the lead still only for KT, and is a GA. There's a GA advantage for Cuz. Ruler just picked the Terminus, so has that 4 items.
Yeah, he's going to be quite a bit more tanky in these fights, and we've seen a lot of times that Ruler, you know, especially in the closer fights, that he has been close to getting resets. And now maybe he does, as they're looking for a play here on a Chovy, trying to get the cleanse. There it is, the Mikhail's.
Yep, Mikhail's been obviously seen the value for there, and not that long of a cooldown as well. Better to save the cleanse for later. They get the mid-tier 1, open the map up a bit, and Gen.G getting a lot of control in this area. This is ideal for them. This is how their comp wants to be played. Control the space. If anyone approaches, you have the stun card threat, and you can start to focus down targets one by one and try and limit the engage options from KT. It's so tense, this game.
I have no idea who's going to win. Like, this, I feel like there's no way to know. I think it... we say this all the time, but I think it just comes down to the way the team fights are executed and, you know, what the engage looks like. We've seen so many cool wraparounds with Hex Gates and Submarine Wukong stealthing in and getting the engage on a Ruler, but we've also seen Perfect TPing into 5 people and dying.
The thing is, every clear 5v5 team fight, KT have won, right? The one that Gen.G won was with Perfect being dead.
Yeah.
But...
and it was close.
That was also the most recent one, and Gen.G got a huge influx of gold in the back of that. Yeah. It's hard to say. I think it's definitely close at this point, and it comes down to how well they execute. I think the hostile takeover value hasn't been super massive in a lot of these fights. So we'll see if Duro can get a massive ult, it could be the difference maker. Or also if someone on KT messes up, if Cuz or BDD don't get as much value as they have in these previous fights, it could be also something that really favors Gen.G. We've seen the boots upgrade come in for Ruler, we've seen Chovy now is full build with Admiral and Omicron. Again, not like the most expensive or most desirable items.
Who's going to take the red? I mean, Cuz just got their red. You want the red for the fight, right?
Maybe saving it a little bit.
Are they just waiting until right before?
Yeah, maybe.
Because we've gotten a couple of zoom-ins now from Jonah Strong where he's like, I don't know, guys. It's been a heavy focus on total control over this river.
Yeah.
Which they do have.
Maybe Ruler goes for it now? No, he's going for the mid-wave. Okay, Canyon goes for it.
Okay.
Latest red buff possible.
Well, they're definitely going to have it up for the fight, so unless we're waiting around for like a couple minutes on the Drake.
And the thing is, KT have that advantage because they're one away from Soul, so Gen.G cannot afford to trade. Between Baron and Dragon, which are spawning at the same time. Sorelda's secured for Docdam, big spike for the Ezreal with that armor pen. Especially there's a lot of armor being picked up, even on the Callista.
Oh, Sunkar comes in, Cuz that is the one guy you need if you are KT to be alive and ready for this fight.
Okay, that was a lot of damage. I didn't expect that much damage from the TF with those items. Still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and here comes Chovy once again, ghosting on in. They want to take a fight. They know Cuz is not here. Peter in a lot of trouble, has to flash away. And that he will. He gets out. Duro takes a bunch of damage. Cuz by himself. Destiny comes in. They have vision. But they're not quite able to land the Q. And now Chovy maybe overextended. The kick is massive. BDD gonna land that stun onto Canyon. Peter super low, but he's still going in. They want to get Keen in the front line, but Cuz goes very deep, goes into his GA. And now is going to respawn. And KT, they're so low, but so is Gen.G. The flash on him for perfect. And he's very much alone. Needs to be careful if he lands another E. Oh, the goals, come on.
Wait, he can stall them out. A TP's coming in behind him. Oh, BDD's coming.
BDD! BDD, here he is! But the stun comes in and he goes in and dies! BDD dead! Oh, the stun! Oh, the damage rather. But they got the dragon!
They got the dragon! They got the dragon! Okay!
They got the soul, okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Objective secured!
Just like that, okay, it's that simple.
They stole them out. The Ezreal bought some time as well. They're going to
Baron.
the back. I'm not sure about this one, guys.
Oh, you got a TP, I mean, it's 4v1. Well, not only for now.
Keen's up very soon. Keen's up very soon. This is risky. This is risky business. This is risky business.
Well, they're doing a lot of damage to it, but Canyon certainly will have an angle, right? The Q is coming on in. He's not going to get it. The smite of Cuz is there once again. This guy rarely misses, and he's not going to miss in a game 5.
Just hit the smite. It's that simple. Just hit the smite. You know what? It's not risky if you don't miss the smite.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. Confidence from KT. They get the dragon. They get the Baron. Oh, man. Any heart doctors out there? I think the KT fans in the building might need some help. This was a tense fight because Gen.G were playing their comp how they should, you know, creating the space, staying at a distance, trying to keep things controlled, and Cuz kind of just said, screw it, you know, I don't like this.
I'm just going to send it.
I'm just going to send it. And it wasn't clean, but it did kind of work. They got funneled into this choke. BDD wanted a better target, but they just took the closest target, hit Canyon. The AoE, the slows, made it messy. And everyone got chunked out. Those Qs coming out from Lissandra doing so much. And then Perfect was chasing people down with the ghouls. Everyone limping away on low HP. Oh, that was so close to Ruler going down. And then here.
Let's just get Lissandra is what he says. And they do.
Yeah, the exhaust comes in. And they're like okay, little spooky. And then here. Especially against a Lee Sin, who has the execute damage on his Q, it can be risky. You know, you're syncing up with your team, which is an advantage, but
my smite is so good.
He's not wrong.
He doesn't miss. Like, he just doesn't miss. I don't know how he does it. Must take a lot of practice.
You can see the slows coming in, make it so hard for Gen.G.
Oof.
The thing is, they're already struggling against like Lissandra, the Wukong. Now, once on top of you, you're never getting space again.
Yeah. Speaking of space, gaining some space, locking them down, but not pushing into the turret just yet. Poking down Canyon. They have to sync up these waves, but you see the Destiny Gate come out, and they're just not quite going for the push just yet.
Gotta care a bit about this poke that comes through from Gen.G. A little spooky.
Canyon needs to get the Gromp. Does he actually need to get the Gromp at this very moment in time? Probably not.
I assume he's like got GA on this gold. I'm gonna assume.
Needs the red. Hold on, guys. Let me get the red.
You guys got the base, right?
I mean, they're not actually getting anything on this push. So technically the right call, even as weird as it looks. Unless they were actually going to look for a play while the push was coming in and they needed the kick. But they're not, so.
Yo, give me a minute, guys. I'm just going to get this red bow.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, can I take Grump too? Is that cool?
Wait, let me get the Krugs too. It's just 1 second.
You know what?
One moment.
You just mute your team and you just go.
All right, well, he got the Krugs, you know? Ships passing the night.
Fairfax must be so confused if he saw it. He didn't see him. He
Yeah.
didn't see him. Imagine if you saw him. Like, what?
Why is
Huh?
Lee Sin here?
What? Is that a Nico? There's no Nico in the game. Why would Nico be here anyway? What is going? Huh?
All right, let me just get this Rift Scuttle. 1 moment, guys. Wait, I just need this Rift Scuttle.
He is lowest gold in the game outside the support. So maybe maybe he does need it, guys.
He does.
Give him a pass.
Most damage goes to Duck Dom by a lot.
Yeah. Oh, the Hextech Soul's such an advantage.
Wait, he didn't get GA. He didn't have enough gold to get GA.
Oh, he put a control ward. He was he was saving up for the control ward.
Yeah. And we're not going to have action until this Elder spawns in minute 30.
Chovy sold his Morellonomicon, now he's got a Rabadons. Now he's got the big down.
Now he's cooking.
Now he's doing the big one-shot stun cards.
Yeah.
You have a GA coming in for Docdam, Void Staff for BDD. People are approaching full build. But that's also a point, is that Chovy, you kind of capped out. You can only, there's a limit how many items you can buy. Oh, he's got the GA!
Yeah, he did it.
He did. Oh, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
It was all worth it.
Spent a little extra time farming. His own jungle was gone, so he's like, I'll just take the enemy jungle.
It was efficient, you know?
Yeah.
It took confidence to go for those plays. The red steal away, and they still have red buff.
It is going to be crazy if Canyon, invisible the entire day, comes in and like gets the mega kick that wins the game. And we're just like, oh.
Secure.
I guess that's
Canyon my POM.
Yeah. Jungle Canyon, and he's just really good. Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
That's how you, oh,
Uh-oh. Chovy very much alone, and the ghouls are smacking.
Perfect finding. Chovy forcing the flash. Flash on TF so big
Yeah.
to burn that cooldown. He does have spellbook, so I assume he's going to be able to rotate it out. He does go for the ghost instead, but it's a massive summoner to burn. And for a Yorick at this stage, just to burn a flash like that is so big.
They have an angle up top. Canyon, we were just talking about him, but it's not that reliable.
It's so hard. It's so hard to find a kick against Nezreal.
How do you find the angle?
And against so much CC, point and click CC, it's so difficult.
All right, position here on the Elder goes to KT.
Perfect can just start soloing it.
All right, Chovy, he does chunk the turrets, but this Elder is falling very quickly. Canyon trying to take the gate over straight into BDD. They can just take him down as the stun comes in, and Canyon is down to his GA. Already, they don't have a jungler. As down he goes.
He's dead.
He's just dead. The smite should just go the way of Cuz. They're taking a lot of damage. BDD has the AoE in the pit, and it goes to Dom. Duck gets it, and KT will take the fight. Chovy is down, and KT will do it.
KT are going to Worlds! They take down Gen.G! Their first best-of-5 loss since the LCK Cup! The upset of the year, and they book their ticket!
I just can't believe it! How did they actually do it, KT? Do you believe in miracles? You're seeing one right here. KT take down Gen.G in 5 games.
What a performance! What a performance! And this has been a team with so